We are now.
Oh no.
Yeah, we are now. Welcome back. We've been gone for a little while. That's my fault. But we are live. And the things that happen before we go live, you will never know. Well, welcome back, everyone. Everybody's here.
Not everybody.
I know he has some commitments, and hopefully we'll get him back in the rotation for sure. Character still lives on. But yes, thanks for coming. We do have just to get through our announcements real quick because I want to get into. We got a lot to recap because we've been gone for a while. So get through the sponsors. Of course, we're still sponsored by same old ones, and we got newer ones coming, so it's pretty awesome. But Ambient Realms for sure. We're using their system to get all this going on. He's got a shared document online that we're working on to even make cooler stuff. Also, Arc Knight, our flat plastic minis. That's the stuff that we can give away. Some digital download stuff. And we are only one follower away from giving away some more goodies. So, I really encourage everybody to do that follow thing because it just takes a click. It's not that big a deal. Then you know what we're doing. When we go live on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, and we have some cooler stuff coming up, then you'll know what's happening. But those are the announcements for sponsors. We're still working on getting some free stuff from original
Are any of these
gamer
fools
apparel
on camera right now?
Oh, absolutely. Everybody's on camera. I knew we were going to be foolish, so I just went live on all cameras. And it's only two, but everybody can be seen.
Only two fools or cameras?
Oh, that's for you to decide. For you to decide. So that's what's going on with our sponsors. The stuff that you've already known if you've watched our show. A couple things when it comes to upcoming events. I know we want to talk about those. I always want to talk about those things. D&D and RPGs was another group that I organize here in Sacramento. So we have an event coming up on the 16th out at the Game Room, which he's becoming one of our sponsors out there too, the Game Room. Mm-hmm. Yes, so we are in the works of doing that. I've been out of town, so we still gotta get some of the logistics figured out. But on the 16th, out there at the Game Room. Plus, on the 24th, we just confirmed out in the Roseville A1, we are going to have a Ladies' Day for RPGs, hosted by our lovely Christina. So, yep,
I'll be there.
No, they got it. That's so funny about that. It was as soon as I posted that event, and it's hosted by Christina, it says this is for ladies by ladies. First person to RSVP, John. Guy named John.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I don't know why more men don't go into the women's room.
We're just watching.
Because if that's the room where the women are.
just depends on what you're into, I guess. No, I just thought that was cute. And he was like, oh, I didn't know that was just for... I was like, well,
did you read
tell your wife because she's going to smack you. Okay. No. It was cute. So...
you can't.
That's what's going on this month, at least for D&D and RPGs. There's so many cool things going to happen on this channel. There's a lot of work to be done now that I've been gone for a couple weeks. There's a lot of work that I need to catch up on. But I did get contacted by Ruthie at A1, and she would love to run a game also on our channel. So I want to get the buzz out there. It's called Penny for Your Thoughts, is what the RPG is, and it's usually a one-shot kind of deal where you know nothing at the beginning of the game, and by the end you get little tidbits of your memories. So that's cool. A very light version of what she was explaining to me. This is just yesterday I found all this out. Yeah, so it looks pretty cool. It sounds really awesome. So I'm excited. We'll get all that worked out. But those are all our deals going on there. Next week's schedule, of course, Tuesday, 6:30, Infinity Tower. Wednesday, 7 p.m., we're going to have Adrenochrome again. And we are back Thursdays. We're going to do 6:30, new trippers. We are pretty solid on that, and we're going to have a good time. So that's pretty much all of that. And make sure and follow, guys. And if you are subscribing through Twitch, through your Amazon Prime account, you do have to click the button every month. I even have to click my own button once a month. Click my own button once a month.
Big pardon?
That's not enough.
So
We imagine it's supplementary.
It's got to be supplementing.
Yes.
Supplementary button clicking.
you don't want to get live.
Yes.
Seriously injure yourself.
That's worth it.
Carpal tunnel.
All right.
I meant if you don't. Have you guys seen Play of the Concords?
Oh, yes.
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 If a woman reaches climax but gets far enough but doesn't reach climax, she can seriously injure herself. I mean, she could not have babies. I know I'm messing up this.
So you have to complete the click and resubscribe every month.
Sorry.
Wait, you said click.
To completion.
I did say click. Nothing click. So, yeah, please do that because it really helps out the channel. We can do a lot more if you do that. I had to do it today because I was gone for a couple weeks and I forgot. So, on that, we should probably... Do you guys have anything? I've been gone for 2 weeks, so I guess we can do a couple personal things because I know I've got a lot of stuff, but that's for a whole nother show, I think, from what I did. But we've been out of about 2.5 weeks. Mm-hmm. So go around the table. You guys got anything new going on? I know school is in full force. Work is in full force. You have...
been working.
But you also jumped the fence back to somewhere else. Am I wrong?
Still working
Still
on
working
it.
on that?
I have to fix things at current work to do more.
Okay.
Just
but
been working.
somebody went back, actually started back with school. Somebody, just there's a lot going on. So enough talking. I'll talk about me all night if you want, but that's annoying.
So I went back to school.
Woo!
That's the one I'm talking about.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm taking 4 classes across 3 different schools. One of them is actually face to face. The rest are not. I'm taking this week. So 2 of the classes started 2 weeks ago, and then the hard ones, which are anatomy and microbiology, started this week. And those are through Johns Hopkins prerequisites, health-related prerequisites. So I'm trying to get my bearings on what kind of workflow I need to go through, and then figure out how I'm going to make a rent.
And a lot of muscles you haven't used in a while, right?
Yeah.
Like brain muscles.
Yeah, it's been funny though because the technology compared to the 90s when I was in school, I mean, it's such a different universe, and how you learn. I mean, I can learn about some like the integumentary system, which is skin, basically. And you can watch a little stupid video, which is really lame. You can read the book, but I'm reading it on my iPad and highlight things and circle things, and it'll compile those notes for you, and then so you're basically making your own notes. What's this word? Click on it, define it, all that, and then you just go online, go to Google, and go through Khan Academy and all these other places and get all the supplemental information that'll teach you it from a different point of view. And it's just it's so easy to get a better education now than back then. So it's really, really cool.
That's fun.
I'm digging it.
Yeah, my wife did most of her MBA online and stuff, so it could be. I can't do online courses. Just I don't have enough
Discipline.
concentration. It's like, ooh, cats. Ooh,
Yeah.
click, click, click.
There's they force group discussion on you. Where they give you a question and you have to post an answer, and then only then can you see other people's responses, and then you have to respond in a meaningful way and give citations and all this other stuff. And I did my first one of those for this other class last week, and I realized that wow, a lot of these people are pretty stupid. It's like, that's a great idea. Yeah, they just kind of repeat the same thing back, and I'm like, a lot of what they say is just dumb, and wrong. So I'm like posting, how would you respond to this, and what would be your question? So like poke, and then I leave. Not fun.
It's like the grenade.
Just because I'm old. Yeah.
Well, and I know
Like
you're our
play
full
things.
force back into school.
Oh yeah.
You did
Today
a little.
I got to do a.
filming.
Yesterday I got not one, not two, but 3 emails from the teacher and 1 from the principal too. So today we got to have a fun meeting at school about my kids. That was fun. I'm popular at school. So that's I'm gonna. So that's why I must have beer today.
I must have the beer. Yes,
Almost has
I
the
understand. I do. I work at the school and still have to have those meetings some days. So
They
Yes.
happen.
they do,
Yeah.
and we figure it
That's
out.
the thing. Yes.
But and also you did some.
Oh yeah, the fun thing.
You did some filming.
Yes, we went up to the mountains this weekend and did a short film shoot. I almost burned off the hand of the main cast member, but he didn't. He was fine, and then I almost broke his hand. Different hand, but it wasn't broken.
You got 2.
He's fine.
You know,
got
you
2
were
hands.
you're only dragging him through a forest.
No, it was like a forest road. He was fine. He was weird. One of the scenes is like one of the characters is dragging him to safety on this like wooden plank thing, and they had a handle, and it was really secure, but the handle apparently was like not, and so it was under the weight of him. This handle was like, nope, and then it broke off, and then yeah, it was a close call. But other than that, it went really well.
Blair Witch something.
Yeah, exactly. Blair Witch something. But don't steal the title. I don't want you going to make a short film called Blair Witch something.
Copyright trademark.
But it was fun.
That's
Blair
awesome.
Witch something.
I
We
was
can talk more
actually-
about it, but
I was really bummed that I missed out on that because
it was really fun. It was chaos. We did like I had this big ass list, just like production schedule, like ass to ass, wall to wall, probably better. Whatever. Anyway,
So San Bernardino? San Fernando?
San
Fernando
Fernando.
Valley?
We did not end up following that list.
No, I actually did. I got like 95% of that list. It didn't feel like it at the time. I felt like I was way behind.
It still doesn't feel like it.
No, it was like 95%. I'm feeling pretty good about it. And then I had to rewrite. We were driving on this bumpy road for like 10 minutes, and I was like, fuck. Sorry. Anyway.
That's a lot.
And then I got to rewrite it in a little room.
Mom, I heard you say the F word.
All right, I'm done. My stuff.
Yeah, just stop talking.
Nobody cares. It's cool. I can post
I'm really
Or you
excited
talk
for you
more
because I really want to.
opportunity.
Did you see some of his stills or anything?
Oh, absolutely.
It's goofy. It's like a fairy tale kind of haunting. Kind of.
Absolutely. We did have some downtime when I was soaking my feet from all the walking. I was checking it out. What about you folks? What are you guys up to?
You have to accent for a second.
I was there
It does.
when she
it
filmed the
comes.
thing.
Was it your hand?
Yes. No. It was my cousin's hand. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and my cousin fell into a waterfall.
That's awesome.
Oh, a different one.
Yee.
Oh, because our
Into or down?
So we were climbing book back up out of the waterfall, and she fell back down into it and fractured her T9 vertebrae.
How?
Jeez.
And her mother also did a tumble.
Yeah, were
And
you guys
her
on
back-
Danger Mountain or something? Jeez.
Space Mountain?
Nothing's ever happened there, ever. This is the first time anything's ever happened. I was speed climbing those rocks so goddamn fast,
Oh, actually.
and then they were going so slow, slipped so hard, hurt themselves.
So you go fast.
Yeah.
That's so fun.
So T9, the vertebrae, is that the one where you have to hit it like a bunch of times to get that right?
To get the right number. No, dang it, go all the way through again.
Wait.
I don't.
Wait.
Hated that one. That was right before T9.
Yeah,
What's
sometimes
T9
I
was-
get to the dangerous.
T9 was the advance.
Yeah, that was a really scary
Actually,
situation.
I liked it.
Jaslyn was
I
traumatized.
was okay with it. It was better than what we had
Oh, that's
before.
the one like right in the middle of the back.
So, Riza?
Listen. Oh wow, that's great quality.
I've been working.
I've been working a lot though.
No,
I
it's
mean,
I've been
compressed.
working a
That's
lot,
what it was. It wasn't fractured.
What was it? The other night I was out on a date. I was out. It was like 9 o'clock. I get a call from work. They're like, "Hey, can you come work at 3 a.m. tomorrow?" I'm like, "Yeah."
while you're on a date,
Yeah, so I had to
Sorry.
go home.
Wrong number.
Yeah. Well, the
it's really not you. It's me.
funniest part
It's-
about it is I hate answering numbers I don't recognize and they use a different number. So my guy was just like, "Oh, here, I'll answer it." And he's like, "Yo, who's this?" This was one of my managers. And I was like, "Whoops, that's awkward." But I've just been working. I wish I could. I recently bought a plum that was dinosaur egg plum, and
that was the story
yeah,
before we went
I
live.
already ate it. So.
But why wouldn't you buy?
But the sticker is literally, you can't see it, but there was a little dinosaur on the sticker. So that's basically what I bought. But that's literally all I've been doing.
But I think that's what we all do. You gotta find the small things, the
Yeah.
little things.
Highlight of the past like 3 weeks is
My moon stars.
I bought a dinosaur egg plum.
That's super cool. Oh, that's awesome. Because I had a great couple weeks, of course. I mean, I left the country for a couple weeks. Now I'm back. Yeah, that's a story in itself. Ireland was freaking phenomenal, and Scotland was just as... They did not let me down. You know, because that's why they have their countries is so... Scooter isn't let down. That's why they do that. No, it was
Wait,
phenomenal.
Scooter's coming.
We gotta
Let them down.
clean up. So yeah, traveled through there and traveled a lot of Ireland, and then hung out in Edinburgh, in Scotland. So, and was corrected many times just by listening, because I thought it was Edinburgh, and you know the pronunciation, yeah, and it's different. It's Edinburgh in Scotland. It's Edinburgh in Ireland. Just depends on who you're talking to. So
It's like burr with a little faintest of
Yep.
at the
Yep.
end.
It's the strangest and most. I loved it. The culture is amazing. So that's a whole nother discussion. Maybe I'll write about it. But let us get into. We got a lot of recapping to do and a lot of discussion to do because I want to talk about some things game oriented. So let's go ahead and be back in 11 seconds. Sound good?
We're gonna get murdered, but nobody will know for 30
All right. We're back. That was 11 seconds. I'm sorry, 11 seconds cut you off. I didn't cut you off. It was 11 seconds. I can't change the 11 seconds. I could, but yeah, then the whole calendar be off.
Yeah, we want to.
Space
You don't
time
want to do
continuum.
it. It kind of folds in on itself. You know, I've seen that happen. It's not fun.
It's the worst.
No, game wise, let's change some tunes because now we're not doing that. Let's do this. Because we are gonna pick it. We're gonna do some stuff. So, let's see. Let's play this.
Before we start, I really cherish that she used a gravy ladle for the sauce. It is fantastic. She understands us.
I really want one. But I
That's
just
what they're there
watched a
for.
thing. I'm gonna have one, but I have to wait like 5 minutes.
Why are you getting
That's a really long time.
Sweetie, you just went swimming. You gotta wait an hour before you
That's
finish.
not
So game wise, we've got a lot, and I know that there's some things that I want to have fun with, especially this session since we went through 10 sessions. We've taken 2.5 weeks off, so we're probably all a little. I went through a lot of my notes today, and even I made a little binder and put everything on little sleeveys. And I did that today so that I don't get too lost. And
Hey.
reprinted the core rule book because Open
Everywhere-
Legend has the Alpha 3 out, so I reprinted it.
Everywhere has
Nerded
the
out.
school supplies on sale. I went ape shit yesterday at Target. Oh my god.
I was at Staples. So
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
I totally did too. I had a print. They printed it for like $12. That's half of an ink cartridge, you know. So I was like, oh, thanks, I can do that. So I did a lot of nerdy stuff in the last couple days when it comes to that. But there's a lot of stuff that I want to do something fun. I don't know. It sounds fun to me because I want to discuss some things. But if you guys want to discuss anything when it comes to, everybody's got at least 2 experience points. Everybody's got 2 experience points.
Yep.
Save them or use them. It's totally up to you. I know that because I looked at it today. And we are in session 11, right? Yeah. So I will update that now. All right. So, whoa. Griff, you're really close to getting 3 XP.
Yeah.
That means a whole level. What? Let's go on.
Consistency is key, bro.
But also, there's probably some arcs coming. So, there's a lot of things out in the open right now in the story.
Much like Arc Knight.
Much like
Segue.
tonight's arc night. No.
Boo.
Well, I'm telling you, she could have her podcast. We're gonna do that on Sunday afternoons here on KSP Awesome.
I was really hoping it was KSP spaghetti.
So,
Wishful thinking.
when it comes to levels and those type of things, I did want to, with our personal goals and those kind of things, leveling up XP. You guys got all that kind of in the bag. I do have the new PDF for the pretty much finalized version of the book that's going to print for this system. Because there's a few more alterations that they've done. Altercations, that'd be weird. A book fighting with itself, that'd be strange. But they have really put a lot of work into it. So there's some things that changed, not much though. But I want you guys to have access to it instead of just the online one.
Great entrance.
So I will get that to you guys, especially as soon as it's finished, so we can just play hardcore. But you can also.
I have it, by the way.
That's what it's the third one. Yeah, awesome. Because I want to. Anybody can get it. You just got to back it. I don't know how much the backer is for the PDF. $35. If you decide you want it, it's really worth it because it's got some beautiful artwork from some amazing people done in there. So we'll do that. Leveling. My goals. I'm going to keep up on my GM blog. I still am working. I know Brandon asked me about a few weeks ago, and I still haven't had the time to set up everybody's blog so we can live blog. We'll get there. I promise you. But, you know, I was doing cool things. So, anybody have any questions that when it comes to just the rules, the books? I think we're pretty okay. Boons, banes,
I haven't
actions.
looked through. I mean, any major rule changes or
There really isn't any.
I didn't know your daughter was a pug.
No? Nothing?
Hmm.
We're all solid?
Yeah, we're told. Sorry. Yeah.
There's some cuteness happening.
Yeah, it's-
I'm seeing it. I'm
cute.
seeing it scroll up here, Thug Life.
There's some cuteness happening.
Probably embarrassing you. No, that's what parents are for.
That's what parents are for. I think we're the embarrassed. It's embarrassers.
The embarrassers, not the embarrassees. So, we should probably go ahead. What I'm going to do is we're going to try and do a recap the best we can as a group. And the cool part is we're going to do kind of a more of a fun version of a recap because I want to discuss. I'm going to bring up tonight. I'm going to bring up key NPCs, and not necessarily key NPCs, but just NPCs. And some of you might even remember them or could give a shit less about them. So I mean, honestly, and that's kind of that's why I'm doing it, because I think we've gone through 10 sessions, and there's probably some that stick out to others and some that don't stick out at all. So I kind of want to see
Oscar.
where you're at.
Nobody remembers Oscar, but I remember Oscar.
It's funny as I wrote down Oscar and then I scratched
You're
it
like,
out.
no.
But that's funny because I will write it in
No.
because I want you guys to come to talk about NPCs that are important to you too.
I was just joking.
You know, about because your character background
Just joking accent.
and where your character's at after 10
Yeah,
sessions.
yeah.
I want you to talk about your character. Does that make sense, guys? I want you to really talk about your character, what they're going through right now. I think we'd do it in a group setting. So, beer's in the fridge. So,
I have a really good beer. It's
what
it's
is
not,
it?
I don't know if you can call it a beer.
no, it's
It's
not.
a- it's-
I can't do shandies.
No.
It's a shandy, but
Oh.
wait, get this. It's not just a shandy. It's a grapefruit blood
Oh,
orange
God,
shandy.
just
I
my
just-
ears to
That,
hear that.
that sounds good to me.
I tried a
so
shandy
many
once and I
vaginas.
couldn't do it.
There's nothing beer about that.
Yeah.
I have a pint of gut.
It's a cider.
This is a cider.
So let's do that. We don't have to. I don't want you guys to go too in depth for 10 sessions, but at least pick up maybe some key points that you were thinking about. Broadly over the 10 sessions. I kind of want to do that, and then maybe at the end, we will get into where we left off or how things are going. Maybe we'll do something a little bit different depending on how you guys feel, and we'll see. It might be fun, might be fucking train wreck. Who knows? We don't know. But
Makes it
So
fun.
I start every day.
yep, that's how
Could be
my
fun.
day starts.
Could be a train.
Could be a train wreck.
Yes, I just got out of bed. Who knows what's going on? So who wants to go ahead and talk about what's up?
I actually took notes last time.
There you go.
I'll read them, but
Start it off.
I kind of add weird shit.
Well, that's the whole point.
All right,
though.
from top to bottom, let's go. All right. It says, gotta go check out Coco Pop, and we did at the Voltaic. Yaz is the girl's name. She's pretty nervous. Mickey is Oscar's mama. Jaya and Puppy left the pod earlier, and Trillian is gone. Probably in parentheses I put prob helping someone with Christmas deco.
Yeah.
Dayu is not present in the library. Harpo, the rich dick ass, got tipped back to finish making the deal with him. ... Fucking idiot. He wants us to get information on artifacts and on the new trippers. Harpo gave a deal of leasing out Oscar to us, 500 credits and 30 day sex to go and come back. And then Pedwar was heading to station 0624 with Tanya. Not many workers on transmission station. The map is on our things. I don't think I finished that sentence. But
I thought you were about to say Griff.
yeah, well no, it was mine and Griff's, so it's our devices, I guess. And she has one too, because she has a device. Looks like there are beds, pods, so fleshies don't die like crazy there. We need to get Pedwar, Tanya, and the artifacts everyone knows. And the artifact that everyone knows about, but no one knows what the fuck it is.
Was that the big machine in the middle?
Nobody told us what it was. At least it's
No, they said that it was used to make a fuck ton of power.
Those are my cliff notes, I guess. But the last
You
note,
did great. It made a lot of sense.
last
Having not
note
been
one
there.
that I had was Oscar gives the fucking hookup on the umbrella fizzy drinks. Like, yes. So, I don't remember writing that, but it's there. So if anyone else wants to go next.
Remember that.
God. So those are the kind of notes I take. Quite awkward.
Who's next?
I don't have to.
I'll go.
Alright.
Okay. So, went to the library. Lost Trillion. Scanned the thing. Scanned me back. What else? Oh yeah. Then I went back to the pod room where they were, and I met Yaz. And Puppy was gone. I was upset. We went to the workshop, I want to call it. I forgot what it's called. It doesn't really matter. We went there.
I think.
Oh, it matters.
It's on your map.
Yeah. See, it's
On
on
the
their
map.
thing. See, I did, but I didn't finish the sentence.
It's on the thing.
Yeah, it's on the
It's on
thing.
the thing.
On the
This
map,
stuff's on the
map,
thing.
on the map.
Come on. Discord is open quite slow.
Yeah, it is. I mean, it's wonderful.
And then, oh yeah, I tracked Jaya. He was heading north, and I tried to make a rock lobster. It didn't
Oh,
work
yeah.
out very well.
That's my thing. I'm the
That
rock
did
lobster girl.
That did happen though. I rewatched some of the video. I was like, yep, that's happening. I'm kind of like, I don't know if I put that in the back of my mind. Or...
I was gonna make a little puppy army, and it didn't work out. I've just got one puppy and a deformed lobster.
It's basically, I always imagine it like a bunch of rocks started to like kind of like move and everything, and then you look so excited, and then just went. Like, no, the rocks.
Tiny robot tears hit the ground that day. And then, yeah. Oh, I ordered a sniper rifle with stun and
Oh
kill.
yeah, I was supposed to get a paint job.
Why stun?
Because we're supposed to capture him alive. Right? Yeah, that's about it.
I don't think that's his thing.
I want to murder the shit out of him. They want him alive. I'll leave him barely alive.
Yeah, because I know that you ordered just a paint job on a pistol.
Yes, I did.
That was a rifle. And I know they were working on a dagger for you. What was there anything
I wasn't there.
you kind of opted out of that one, I think.
Because I wasn't there.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she was.
sure.
So she was doing her
Christmas decorating, is that what you said?
There.
Yeah, it was Christmas.
Yeah, I
decorating.
was like helping with Christmas decorations.
Yeah, that sounds right.
sounds about right. So
Alright, so here's what I captured, which is very disjointed. So we wake up after everybody's in these pods, except me. We kind of start to come out of this, whatever the dark period is, the nighttime. And Jaya's pod is empty. We kind of make a half-assed attempt to find him because we know where he is, which is not there. We find out we need to find transmission station 0624. It's where we need to go and take out. I still don't quite know what take out means. The nerdy Asrai lady, Yaz, works for Coco Pop. She tells us that we need to go to Coco Pop and get our equipment. Before we go there, people are kind of talking to Harpo, or they're going to meet someplace for a drink, and I decided to go find somebody else. I wanted to explore any other alternate semi-legal establishments that may not be friends with Harpo, because Harpo's a douche, and we kind of just all want to have bad things happen to him. So I find some place, and I'm talking to this bartender who more or less, I wouldn't say he runs it, but he's the one that kind of tells me what's up. I agree to be presented with a contract at a future time and place, and it will be up to me if I choose to accept it or not. It sounds like it will be at this station, 0624. I don't know any of the details other than I can do it or not do it. I head back to the Voltaic. Coco Pop is inside a bubble, trying to do something. We're energy workers. We create things. I created some chat, or she created some chat amongst the Grundles. She whispers, "We want to help the Grundles. What sort of weapons do you need?" So they're working on repainting Ditz's plasma rifle, making a rifle, like a sniper rifle for Griff. They're tricking out my dagger. Yeah, the large burly she-grundle, Mickey, is the mom of Oscar, and she seems to have quite a lot of clout there. And I think we were just kind of waiting for their work to be finished before we head off in search of fame and fortune.
Yep, you found some fun stuff underground kind of thing. I do remember that. So yeah, there was some some not too strange, but did find the energy workers. You did find that they did want to help out. They were Asrai, but not really believe in the Asrai cause, in a sense. They were scientists, is what we kind of did.
There's definitely the sense that they had way more power than people really understood that they did.
Yeah,
because of their abilities to work with energy and what have you.
Yeah, and everybody else is kind of on the island. You did find out that everybody's kind of on this place is just there doing what normal Asrai do, and they're there to do work, and they just happen to be there. But yeah, that was a good synopsis there, because yeah, you do have some things that are being worked on. They did say it would be done by that evening or by the end of that next, the end of the day, the sections of the day, one full cycle. So that's where we ended session 10. What I wanted to do, because we already hit on some of these things, I'd like to bring up a couple names just to see if they kind of hit the mark for anybody, or they don't hit the mark. Does that make sense? So, we already did mention Oscar, which he was on there too. We ended up talking Pedwar, Oscar. You mentioned Puppy, Mickey. But there's a few other ones that I'd like to see if you guys remember. I know it's going to be kind of one of those, like, see if you can remember. Does anybody remember Cliff?
Yeah, Cliff the bartender. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He likes to read, but it's forbidden. Oscar likes to read? I thought Oscar...
Oscar was the...
He was like the secondary bartender that then I just globbed onto for no reason. Cliff was
I thought it was the other way around.
Oscar was the mute. He didn't talk much at all, right? That was the one.
To me. Oh, in my head,
Right.
that's right.
Yeah, he didn't talk, but he just talked to her in her head. Cliff was the one that ended up. You guys end up making him with you.
Yeah.
He's the one that likes to read, and he was basically a servant and released. That was Cliff. Oscar, the only conversation he had was mental conversation. They were very similar. They worked together. Then we talk about Puppy and Mickey. And then Frank. Does anybody remember Frank?
And Frank was one of the dock.
Buster.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
they were the dock
Frank and
guys.
Yeah.
Watching our boat.
And who could forget? Anybody remember Willie?
Willie, yeah.
I'm just going to another thing. Got Dayu. He's been kind of forgotten
gone.
a little bit.
He's alright.
Which is funny because he gets forgotten a lot. And I created him as a forgettable character. You guys did great with that because he kept forgetting about him. Oh yeah, where's that guy?
Where is that guy?
That was great. So I'm gonna ask. Does anybody remember Kringlock?
Was he the fish guy?
Found it. On the map.
Was Kringlock the fish guy? No.
He was more of a scaly creature that was the contract.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Yeah, he's the guy that I was talking to when everybody else was in
In the
comfy
lobby.
pods.
Yeah.
I was in the lobby.
I wasn't even in a
Talking
comfy
to-
pod. I was at the library. The library.
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 Yeah, I never made it to this.
The
pod.
Liberator.
That's right.
Easy to grow.
Yeah, so I was talking to him. He's basically just a construction worker who's, one of many people just working on whatever.
That you said porky or whatever, and that made me laugh. Because I'm a juvenile person.
Pork.
And of course, who
Oh,
can forget?
damn it, Bobby.
Of course, Pedwar. We talked about Pedwar. Bubba.
Bubba.
This is my favorite. He's the one that got me invested in the story.
The only reason Sarah's here.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember Winston?
Winston. No, I don't know.
Was he one of the people when we got called into the main office of the recreation center?
He was the main. Remember when you got attacked by 3 Grundles?
Oh.
Before you even knew what a Grundle was?
Okay.
He was the guy
Oh,
who
he's
actually
talking
talked to you.
Okay.
He was important. We left him so fast.
Well, I'm not even saying any of them are important. I'm just, it kind of brings up sparks of the story over the last
Right.
And who could forget Pick Peck?
Pickpeck's my best friend
Big pen.
forever.
And
Period.
does anyone remember
Not
Uga
guess
Chaka?
on the right.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
the
The
fish
slimy guy.
And Boris?
Boris.
Anybody remember Boris?
the one with the weird fire.
Yes, the bluish flame guy. Of course, the couple people from the Mejik Council.
Oh, Jaya would remember her name really well.
The name never got expressed.
Oh, they don't. They're beyond.
No,
names.
there was. That brings up Beyonce.
We're going.
Oh, yeah,
we
yeah.
do.
Disclaimer. So, anybody have any other NPCs or storylines that kind of over the last 10 sessions are kind of like are a key moment?
I liked the lady that worked at the office at the prison who did not give a shit.
Yes, that was
Martha?
It was Margaret. If I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Anybody else? Remember? I mean, of course, the key ones we know. Tanya, that's a big one. But that was written in your backstory, so
I
that
swear
was
to God,
not a
when we meet
real
her, I'm gonna kill her.
NPC. What's that?
When we meet her, I just want to kill her.
There's got to be something awesome about just Tanya. There's something
Just
about
complete
Tanya.
the whole. Where's Tanya? Where's Tanya? Where's Tanya? Oh, there she is.
There'd be some good
There.
comedic timing. Actually, yeah.
Can we not get on with the rest of our lives?
I think he just made a dire enemy. A robo enemy. Robo enemy?
Robin
I'll let you guys
and
continue.
What is that?
Robocop?
Robo pop.
Riboflavin.
That too.
stuff.
I want strawberry rhubarb. Okay, I think that just made me ready for a
Cinnamon. See, it was almost exactly 10 minutes. That was weird.
Know thyself. Just kidding. I'm gonna have a. It's okay that I'm interrupting. You guys
No,
carry
you're
on.
supposed. That's what they were there for.
Yeah,
These are,
just
yeah.
one.
We didn't get cookies this time. We got cinnamon rolls. Oh.
Don't have enough time for cookies.
Yeah, homemade cinnamon rolls
Yeah, she's
with like homemade.
It's like
Frosting.
cream cheese stuff too.
Oh my
Man.
god, yum.
Oh, it's the cream cheese.
It's the cream cheesiest. I'm the worst.
So,
So, Mid talking about stuff. We got off track. Isn't
No,
the
this-
gravy
that's
ladle
what
like
food
the
is for.
best?
That's what food is for. Oh man.
We do that.
I'm the worst.
So I do know that while you were making a rock lobster and everybody's kind of waiting for their equipment, you are all kind of just waiting for stuff to be made. What adventures has Trillian been on?
Oh, I'm supposed to know that? The last place I was at was the library, right?
Yes.
So I want to be like Belle on Beauty and the Beast. The good one, the animated one. Where I just fall in love with all the like I'm lost in books. Like I found a nice little corner and I've been huddled there just like, you know, eating up all the knowledge of this
The
lovely,
information.
lovely
Yeah.
place. Yeah. I got like a shiny object girl. That's like the internet, you know, like I fell into a hole, but instead it was the library. So it seemed good.
It sounds great.
Culture appropriate.
Through the culture that you're finding out.
And I would say it was very, very unfocused. You know,
But
so you can
it's-
give me all the stuff. I don't know.
Well, with the intelligence that you go with, I'd like you to do an intelligence
Oh,
check.
which
if
one's
you would.
intelligence?
Let's
Is it no? But I mean,
Let's
isn't it called
do-
something else here?
let's do
The
a
irony of that statement.
let's do a logic. I'd like you to do a logic.
1d6 plus 20. Let's do this. I'm so sorry. I got a 23.
Through the information that you were reading in the library, you find because you absorb a lot of information. That's just what you do. That's the makeup of who you are. That's the makeup of your being. You find that it's easy to read between the lines, per se. So reading between the lines means basically you are finding that there's a lot left out of these books that you're reading. Almost like missing information, holes, gaps.
Redacted.
Yeah, creating a history of Grundles being a very evil creature that needs to be, exterminated, and putting the Asrai as almost like the saviors of the Grundles. But you being able to fill in those gaps, going, that's not how any history has ever been written. There's no definite good, evil. There's a lot of mud in the middle. So you are finding that through there, you're finding types of information through writings that the Asrai that don't believe in this type of oppression, you're understanding that there is an underground type of society with the Asrai that has been around for many, many, many years, trying to figure out what they can do to stop this from happening, to
Side quest.
rectify the issues.
I don't care what time I am. I'm saving
So
all
separate.
the Grundles.
And that's only because you rolled a 23.
Side quest.
Skyrim?
Save the race.
It's like, alright, here's the goal.
Side
and we're
quest,
doing everything
stop
else.
extreme genocide.
Yeah.
Is it being too loud? I'm
On
sorry.
our way to fight Tanya.
You guys are already.
You saved it.
Are you guys on your way?
Oh, no.
So that's the information you're
Love it.
finding.
Did I find out like where they usually underground? There's no like.
No, it's not a
marker?
location. It's more because it's a
Like-
writings. It's all writings. So the writings are very delayed.
It doesn't seem organized.
It's very organized, but it's built less on the religious side, and more on the combination of religion and science. So they work together. It's kind of like you're finding out that religion is science, science is religion. That in this culture. So you're finding out that types of information while you're huddled in there. You know, I was changing the thing on the microphone because it was set on something else.
I realized I had like really projected all this, and I thought maybe like
That's
my
good.
Sarah cackles happened.
Nice
I was like,
suggestion.
oh no, I broke the microphone again.
Need another one.
Just like the camera.
No.
What a camera. Oh, because shit.
It's making fun of me, sure.
I got
So-
a new camera. This
Bullshit, man.
Are you 2 cameras? No, I'm also focused. I have it here. I could show you guys. It's really cool.
That's like so cool.
Whatever.
That's weird to finding out there. I know that you went. The last things that you were doing was kind of watching this guy fuddle over a rock creature that wasn't turning out so well. What would you guys be doing at this point?
Remember what I was doing last time? Totally found games on the little
Yep, that's
yellow things.
yeah. You
That's
totally
what,
were.
yeah. That's I'm in the library. I found a couch. Feet kicked up. I'm playing games. That's what I'm doing.
So we're still in the same place, full take? Or no?
Well,
Everyone was split
she
up.
went. Yeah, everybody kind of split.
that's right,
And
'cause
you,
we're-
who all has?
That's right.
You're the only
You went
one that
there
doesn't
first
have a
and then-
digital pad.
Right.
Who needs pads?
I don't. I. You
Just
know,
like, well,
I don't think you
Let's
understand.
see.
I have 4 daughters, so I went there too. So.
Where were you?
That's its murder face, you guys. I see it.
here, suddenly a giant meteor comes down and you're all dead.
Dead.
So has
Yay.
it been a full cycle?
No.
Okay.
You're still. I mean, you're kind of left out. It's like call it midday when it's like mid-cycle. It's
Okay.
kind of like the sun's at the highest.
Talk about
Your
pads and
the
stuff.
second sun is at the
Look straight at the sun to see where it is and go blind. Okay, so I'm really sad from me losing puppy, so I'm gonna go get some oil. I'm gonna head down to back to the farm.
back to the
You
bar.
could just make a new one, right? It's like a familiar.
Well, he definitely tried.
I
He already
and the
tried.
rocks were like, no.
He tried,
I tried.
and
Can't
yeah.
really replace it.
And you find that, you know, Cliff is basically has told you at this point that he's needs to gather up his belongings before he's going to head out. He has to tie up loose ends. He's got a lot of connections and a lot of friends and family, obviously, in this area. So before he takes off with you guys, he does have to figure that kind of stuff out.
Come on, Cliff, I got
So he's no longer there.
Are there any other areas where
Slippery.
there's lots of kind of like mixed races, just like a spaceport where there's lots of different.
There's two.
types
There's
of-
2 of them. The spaceport has because you've been through there. Had more of the races there, the mixed ones, and plus of course the hibernation station that had the people that are just staying for the night. Definitely mixed there because the Asrai don't need that hibernation station. It's kind of built for travelers.
Okay.
Then there's the watercraft port. That doesn't have as much because they're all from that planet because they came over on water. But the
Is there
space
like maybe one particular like bar or pub or something where they kind of tend to go?
that would be more
Yeah,
of where
like
you
a-
were already at. You know that you found that kind of not so uppity. It wasn't the tipped back because the tipped back it's for travelers, but it's travelers that kind of have they're a little bit more means, and most of them are Asrai. I mean, realistically, there are a lot of them are locals and they have a little bit of funding. But the place you went into was a little bit more, you know, anybody's welcome as long as they don't
Everybody knows your
No
name.
narking.
Well, they just don't. If you don't want to talk, they leave you alone,
Right.
kind of thing. If you do want to talk, I got a job for you. That's where you'd find that one.
All right. Okay.
And you're the only one that doesn't have a digital pad, data pads, right? Okay.
Well, I don't know if I'm still there. Great. If not, I might head back and I want to just like find somebody to talk to ask them about if they'd ever heard of this thing called trippers, if they knew anything about that.
Where are you headed to do that?
The same place.
Okay. Well, you don't
If
even
I-
have to have left there. I mean, realistically, I think
Yeah,
you went.
okay.
You know.
So I'll just keep talking to the same dude then, that the bartender guy.
Yeah, the robot voice. I forgot that voice too. That's a good one.
Yeah, just sort of, by the way, been hearing this term called trippers, and when it's mentioned, people kind of get this weird look. What does that mean to you?
Sounds like you need more information.
Of course.
You've already made a deal with Harpo, correct?
Not related to the question I just asked you.
He's the trafficker of information.
I'm not looking for sensitive information here. Just, do you know what the term means? Like if you ask me what's a chicken, I will tell you what a chicken is.
I've never heard of a chicken.
Well, ask me what a chicken
You
is.
son of a bitch. Giving away all our secrets.
What
Fucking
is a
segues are insane.
chicken?
A chicken is a small creature. It's a bird, about this big, covered in feathers, and they lay eggs, and you eat them.
You eat the eggs,
And the chicken.
the embryos of a flying creature?
They're unfertilized. And they don't actually fly.
You'd be really
Ah.
good at Mad Gab.
Ha ha. A bird that does not fly.
They're better at walking.
I don't.
They fly a little.
Hmm.
Not
I don't know if I'd want to visit a place with birds that don't fly. But I'm always up for trying an embryo.
Yeah.
Let's see, now you asked me a simple question. I told you what it was.
Tripper.
What is it?
They do say there's an imbalance in time. An imbalance, what we call time, but the trippers call moments. They've been known to be contracted to repair these moments.
Contracted by who?
Hard to say. I've never met a tripper.
Me either.
But I do know the myths say that they have been responsible for this destruction of trillions of lives, and also the saviors of even more.
Why? So
I think it depends on who you ask.
quite the resume.
A bunch of hoopla.
Knee deep. If you ever come across a tripper, I'd like to meet them.
All right. Well, thank you.
Chicken. He just goes over and is trying to pronounce the word over and over. You three are getting a strange, like, encrypted message over and over on your data pads, because you all three have one, and it's just kind of going over and over and over. Comes every like 3 to 4 minutes of your time. Just kind of scrolls through across everything, even on your game. It's almost like you're playing the game, and you know those games that you don't pay for, and you have to look at the ads.
Yeah.
It's like an ad keeps popping up, but to you it would look like an ad because it's encrypted and it's in a weird language, and you're just like closing it out. So I would like, at least for you, let's see, I think you would have to just do a straight like perception. I think that should just do a perception because it's like, it just looks like stupid ad.
$23.
Wow. Okay. So after a while, you've been pushing it. It's really starting to piss you off because you're playing a game, right? Because I know how that feels. But you're finding out that it comes over and it's saying the same thing over and over. And through just you seeing the same thing over and over, you've noticed the name is starting to look familiar. And since you have the little fizz inside of you, you're noticing that it's saying Dayu at the end.
We have to return.
You just do a logic.
Should I just try to decrypt it?
Yeah, just do it, but you could just do a straight logic check too, unless you have a decryption capability.
I have a better pre-science decryption thing.
Then do it,
I'm gonna do that.
because it's an encrypted message.
That is a 24? 23.
So you are seeing in basically the same, in Dayu's language or in Asrai's language, you're basically saying, I'm fucked.
Dash state.
Meet me at the council.
Heart.
It's kind of like help, that's what you're decrypting out of, but it's the same translation as I'm over the top screwed right now.
To the recreation
Why
center.
are you still in this town?
Why is anybody in this stupid town?
Well,
I tell you, no.
not everybody has, a limited lifespan.
So, but you're getting the message on there. Would you be using the data pad at all?
Maybe.
Me? Am I still deep in thought?
You're in the library, so I don't know if you'd even see it. It's up.
Yeah, I would probably. I would like to stay and see it.
Okay.
Yes.
You'd have to do the same type of logic.
Very intense. Nope. Man, I got 9.
You can tell that it's coming from the same source, and it looks familiar phonetically, but you're not quite sure.
Got it. All right.
Well, I'm gonna go search for people.
Where are you headed?
People everywhere.
Did you say that you was heading to the place
Ask her.
to play games? Did
Huh?
you?
Because I don't know.
Did you say you were heading to the place to play games on the pad?
I was in the library.
Oh.
You were in the library? Because that's where I'm at.
No, I went to the library and you weren't there, so I just found a couch.
Oh, so I'm still in the library.
Because you were like,
Yeah.
she's like engulfed back in
Yeah.
some corner,
She's in
You
the
don't know
sky.
how to know, right?
finding the oldest books she could find, and
I'm in the library.
I've definitely got a blanket on my weird, like, glowy body. Just 'cause I mentioned a blanket in a library.
All right.
In an old
And kind of like slightly lighting up underneath the blanket, and you're just reading.
And I have formed little
Like
feet
never ending story.
out of the metal fibers, and I'm doing this from behind the blanket. It's cute.
Okay.
Alright.
So I'm gonna head to the library. And once I get there, I'm gonna try to scare her when she's playing her game. Then I'm
So-
gonna get shot in the face with a laser.
You're gonna. She might, because she has a regular pistol still with you, correct? You gave
Yeah.
up your plasma one.
Yeah,
But
I have,
she has a-
I have a revolver.
Yeah, like a regular, like
Yeah.
projectile. Projectile. She still
I
has
got
a
a
projectile
revolver.
pistol
Ping.
with her.
Yeah.
Asshole.
So, you want to sneak up behind her, or
Yep.
do you want to just blunt? You want to sneak up? Do it.
I'm gonna sneak up. Okay.
Do it. What is? You just need a deception.
A 17. Or should I do agility? Should I like jump everywhere? Sneaky.
Yeah, do an agility,
Alright.
Sneakiness.
because that's social. You want to stay with agility.
Holy fuck. That's a 21.
Oh.
Nice.
And you do a perception.
That's her highest roll.
Oh no. Terrible roll 10.
Engulfed in your game, you're connecting all these little sweet candies together to create a great beast that has a +1 for attack. And you're really trying to get this, you're trying to figure out this weird game. And this jack of all trades.
I have a 0 for deception.
No, but you not for agility though, because you're trying to be sneaky. This 600-pound metal something just found his way around. You can't. You think it's part of the game. It's like, ooh, new sounds on my next level.
There's ripples in your little cup of water.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he comes up, and you do what?
I'm gonna.
Wet Willie! Oh, can't wait.
I'm
to
gonna
Wet
change the
Willie.
data on the pad so it says "Look behind you," and then I'm gonna snatch the pad away and run.
Solid.
So you wanted to say, look behind you?
And then once she does, hopefully she'll put the pad down.
Well, we don't know what she's
And if
gonna
she
do.
doesn't, I'm just gonna
idea what she's gonna do.
leave and try to find her.
Okay.
If she doesn't
Okay,
put the
but
pad
first
down.
thing, what are you actually going to do? And we'll see what she does.
Causing too
It'll
much
be alright.
shenanigans.
It'll be alright.
Nah, actually, I'm just gonna tap her on the shoulder and be like, "Hey, Dave's fucked. Let's go that way."
Okay,
Is that what you do? Okay.
that's what he
I
says
want
to
a
you.
surprise attack, though.
Surprise attack will probably give him a shot.
Yeah.
That's what you did?
Yeah.
Okay. I go, stranger danger! Then he, yeah. So I'm like, oh, okay. There you go. Yeah, if you, like, try to, like, be sneaky and stuff, I probably would have shot you.
I love it.
Good call.
Alright. Now we gotta find. We've got one. Didn't die.
It's a success.
Let's go find Trillian. We know that Jai and Puppy are heading north. We gotta go find everyone else. Okay.
Do you think I'd hear them with all this kerfuffle?
I mean, she
just do a
screamed.
basic. Yeah, you may have heard something, but do a perception. Because you may not.
Alright.
Because she's well into her game, you're well into your
I'm
books.
6. I rolled a 6.
So
I really
all you
like
heard was a
reading.
little bit something kind of loud, but nothing too crazy.
Alright. I guess I'm still under the blanket.
Do you are you looking for her at all?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm looking for everyone right now.
Okay. Are you staying in the library to look for her?
That's the last place I know she went, so yeah.
So be an investigation. So just I think it's just a perception on that one.
I guess I just
Total
live in
three.
the library now.
A 3 total.
3.
3. So you keep finding things that you think are her. It's like, no, that's another book. Then you find a blanket. No, that's just a blanket. Oh, a pill. No, that's no.
Yeah.
So you're finding a lot of stuff, and you're wasting a ton of time
Yeah.
right now looking under things, thinking it's her.
Help me find Trillium, damn it.
Doesn't anybody have any inspiration they want to?
There's tons. You have tons floating around there.
And we always get them back. So we should definitely use those.
We can save him for like a real emergency. I'm just under a blanket somewhere. He'll be alright.
I'm just cozy.
So when
Dave's gonna die.
So before I was looking around for before I started playing some sweet ass games, I visibly noticed that she was there, but just didn't know where she went. Before we
Yeah, you did know that she was there.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I remember that.
we were kind of gonna leave the room, right? Because we don't know where she is. Before we leave, can I just kind of do a presence thing and just be like, "Well, we're gonna go find Di."
Scream.
Yeah, scream.
Sprint out of
So
the
I
room.
hear
Sweet
I
ass,
do not
the
know
sweet
yet.
ass. I do.
What are you gonna say?
presence. Well, we're leaving and we have to go find Di.
And you guys haven't like yelled for me.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I mean, we're in a library.
Do I have to?
So
Do I need to roll? for
No.
that, or-
Not if she's screaming in a
I
library.
popped up.
Not if you're
Yeah.
screaming in a library. It's. I mean,
Unless you've gotten
the
distracted.
rolls are for stuff that is just we're going to here. But if you really want to find somebody in a library,
You just yell.
you can find somebody in a library.
So I
you
pop
know.
up and I look like I haven't slept in forever in my little glowy eyes. Like, this book's really good. Throw it down and I rush toward you guys and I say, friends! And that's how I do it.
I'm like, ooh, you're definitely not a hat.
I could be a hat again if you really wanted it.
You guys want to tell each other what's up?
What up?
I
Like, what's happening?
Oh, you did say it. I'm just like, he's Daddy's fucked.
Dave's fucked. We gotta meet him at the recreation center.
Okay. Let's go.
Alright. Now we gotta find him.
Where did we see him last?
Well, we were all at the square. I lost my rock lobster. And that's it. That's all I remember. He was there. Then he wasn't.
I don't know how to find him. I'm just
I don't know how to find him either. He doesn't have a pad. I can't track him. Oh god.
Awkward. I mean, not for me. I'm just joking.
Fuck it, to the recreation center.
So you three are headed to the rec center?
Yeah.
All right, and what are you going to be doing
We meet him.
Finishing my drink.
the whole time?
Well, I don't know. When my drink's done, I'm gonna leave and
Might be a big drink.
head back to probably because we didn't set up a meeting point, so I'm probably just gonna go back to the voltaic and see if anybody's there.
Man, why did the one guy without the pad? Why did we not get?
We're not a very organized bunch.
No.
Even with the adults here.
So you guys are going to head over to the council. You do see that the door is just as closed as before, but there are a lot of lights going on the inside. You know, it's very lit up. You can see even through the door. If you guys are entering in,
This place is lit, yo.
yeah, light it up. And you walk up to it, and it basically senses that you guys are there. So yeah, so it's like, and it's ready. And if you guys, and once you go through, it closes. And you do see two Asrai like guards at the front now. It seems to be a lot more guarded than it was before. There's two right inside the door, and they look at all three of you and go, "We thought there'd be more. Come this way."
I lost some weight.
I wish he said walk this way and then could have followed him in the same way he was walking. Like in Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yeah.
Walk this way.
That was really good.
I'm really sorry, guys. Carry
Seen that one for a while.
Carry on.
And as you go, but when you go in there, you walk into the room where you still have that older gentleman and the lady she's kind of older, but same two people that you're seeing there. But you do see Dayu is bound. He's on his knees and
Bound or bound?
You can't really tell because the female Asrai is still there. No, it's, but it is a very somber, aggressive. There are three at this point. There's three Asrais over top of him, with their laser pistols drawn, and they have a baton in the other hand.
I'm listening. I'm just concocting.
That's what you're seeing. That's the vision, and you're seeing the other two, the same two people sitting behind that old, that very basic table, and you can tell that they're doing some sort of work, some sort of questioning.
I wasn't here before, right? I was gone that one time. Okay. Place looks great. Never been here. So,
What's
what
going
happened?
on?
Yeah, what happened?
And who are you asking? There's the one guy and the guy. There's
I'm just saying it because I don't know any of them. I don't know who's in charge. Saying what happened. Yeah.
So you see the grumpier guy. He's still there, and he's take it. Where's Jaya was the speaker of the group last time.
I ate him. I didn't eat him. He
Oh,
went,
you're gonna make her.
no, he went for a walk.
He had a lot to think about. He's been so
Yeah.
rosy in the cheeks lately.
He stole my
He's been
dog.
talking about you a lot, though. You must be her. Hi.
I'm her.
He talks about you a lot. Yeah.
Then Rocco leans over and goes, "We've got business to do." Oh, so Deo's with you. He doesn't seem to be with you very much lately. He's gotten himself already into a little bit more trouble.
What do you do?
How much is his freedom worth to you?
What do you do? No. Oh, okay. He's being weird.
You don't want to know what Deo gets himself into. He promises and promises, and then we end up here. Over and over.
I want to ask Deo with my old brain noodle. What did you do?
It's not something I did. It's just something I know. I'm trying to not tell them who you really are, and they keep making up a bunch of stuff that I didn't even actually do this time. Most of the time I do, but this time I didn't actually do it.
So do they know who you are?
I didn't tell them. Let's get this on with.
I want to tell this to you guys. I'm gonna go bloop and then bloop.
Where's your fourth? Last time you were here, there was four. You weren't here, but there was four of you here.
Him, I did eat.
So.
Less baggage.
So.
You can understand.
No.
Oh.
I don't understand
No.
eating others. But What I do understand is Deo is not doing things he's supposed to be doing. He was supposed to be back here by tomorrow, but he ends up back here anyways. Why is that? He's supposed to be with you. And this is the grumpy guy.
We're behind schedule.
We're actually ahead of schedule.
Ahead of
This is not. Yeah, we're ahead of schedule. So
You're
maybe
supposed to be keeping an eye on him. Am I wrong?
So he seems like he's grumpy, but he's also concerned with Diane a little.
Do you want him freed or not?
We want him freed.
You're gonna need a fourth.
Why?
Summon second doggy.
I'm gonna use the ground.
And as you're saying that, when he's gonna need a fourth, the three back up from Deo. One of the guards, the two that were out front, one of them walks in, the other guard locks the door, and they square up.
We really could have used.
You'll
it.
need a fourth.
I can make a fourth. But I can also just put my
Fourth?
palm on your face and then electrocute you.
Fourth. So
If you want to go in this unbalanced, we can do that. And they all draw their weapons.
All right. Shocky. Zing. I open up my hands and they're filled with little flames.
I hope you say those words. Shocky zing.
But I just they draw their pistols. They're basically like, you can see electricity going through them. Three of them do. The guard at the front that locked it, he comes up and he basically has a staff that has the same type of electricity coming through it, and he's the fourth. So it's all guarded. The door is guarded by somebody else. Ronco basically says, no, he does say.
He basically says you're
The only way Deo gets freed is if you prove that he's worth something to you. Draw your weapons. And we're gonna go ahead and take a break then. So yeah,
Pen and paper, stat.
draw your weapons. But we're gonna take a little break. But yeah, that's where we're gonna end for a couple minutes.
Fight, fight, fight. And
I
out
wanted
what's
to
there.
ask more about
I know,
the scenery,
seriously,
too. I
like-
really want there to be a chandelier that I can like.
Will you sing that song?
We don't know. But let's go ahead. Let's take a little break and
Oh,
refuel.
that was like
We'll be back in a minute. I promise.
Bye.
Goodbye.
All right, welcome back. Welcome back. Oh, I always forget to do that. Sorry about that. But welcome back. We did leave off in a little situation that I think Craigar is kind of bummed he's not there. But we will find out.
We're gonna be bummed.
So, all the normal announcements when it comes to our sponsors, Arc Knight. We really do want to give away some good stuff. We're still only one away from that. So please click that button if you're watching. Even if you're not like actively watching and you watch us on replay or VOD or whatever, we still count these. So it doesn't matter whether it's during live or not. So Arc Knight, we'll give away some digital download stuff. It's really cool stuff, maps and tokens and stuff like that. So that, of course, and then Ambient Realms, because we haven't done many sound effects this session at all.
Well, we're about to do some lightning sound effects because. Wait, what was it? Huzzah!
I don't think it was the huzzah one, but
Yeah.
I think it was.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
But definitely, we want to thank them for doing what they do and helping us out with that, and soon to be A really big sponsor of ours also is the game room out in Elk Grove, specifically the game room in Elk Grove. That's very important. So, working on some really cool stuff on there too. So, without further ado, we were kind of chilling out with some folks that we've met before. Let's see if we can get some better music. Well, that's pretty good.
Do you feel a little left out without your glasses on?
Put my glasses on? I don't have glasses. I can see properly.
I don't have to have 4
I was being a
eyes.
bitch. No, I actually think I'm supposed to have reading glasses. I got them like 6 years ago, but I don't.
So you do
Which
have
means I
glasses.
probably need them.
Liar.
They're like 0.2.
Oh, so they like don't
They
matter.
just are like the kind you can buy at Rite Aid. But have the good. And actually, I don't think they were. They're just reading glasses. They just zoom a little, right?
Yeah, it's like 1 1/4.
Yeah, you're supposed to just have it for monitors. Or
Are you
Yeah.
like super blind?
I don't like it because it makes me feel like.
Yeah, I don't
Very
wear them like
blind.
driving.
Really
or, like,
blind?
I can
How about
see
you?
them fine.
No.
Wow.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
the only one here with no glasses.
You're blurry
Yeah.
from here.
Oh, really?
I can't see far
I can
away.
see everyone fine, but I can't see anything far
I
away.
think
Me
my
neither.
glasses happen if I
This
have
is like
scissors.
I
120.
can't see going to work.
And my glasses are really good.
I know. I took my glasses off and I'm like,
All right.
wow.
Anyway,
Anywho,
Real. I didn't
Eyesight,
mean to get this
eyesight,
time.
eyesight.
it wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
all right. Did I get the group loot or?
Well, you got something. You're quite a ways away, but you got a faint, like, it's almost like a whisper, and you quite couldn't understand it. But you're headed towards. You were going to the Voltaic. So while you're at the Voltaic, you do walk in, and you're met at the front door. The crazy little Asrai comes up and goes, "Why are you here? We've been monitoring the channels, and Dayu,
What about
they're gonna kill him.
what?
Where's your data pad?
don't have a
Oh,
data pad.
no.
You-
Oh no.
Don't kill
What?
Dayu.
I don't have a data pad.
She slaps you in the face for being.
Do you need we have medication for that. Are you okay?
Is it a data pad?
That's really good.
Oh,
It's-
I do have that. You want? Hold on.
Your career, like,
salmon,
so let it hear.
and she uploads it, programs it, and goes, use this one. You gotta go. You gotta go.
Where?
Oh, the council. You were there, right?
Oh, okay.
I mean, we know you checked in at the front office.
Bye.
We know a lot more than they think we know, but Deu's kind of screwed. He needs you, and
Okay.
you're not
Well,
there.
I will go unscrew him.
Oh,
I was gonna say that I'm not allowed to
unscrew.
take
I
off
think
the-
that's supposed. I'm still working on
Never
sarcasm. All right. See. Say. Yeah. She's still talking, and the door closes on her face. So, you three are basically faced with 3 Asrai standing in front of you, pistols drawn, and a baton in one hand and a pistol drawn in the other. There's a guard at the front door. I need all of you to roll the initiative.
Do we?
Finally get to
I don't think I've ever rolled.
It's your
for this
agility.
game.
Oh, it's oh, so you're gonna go
It's
for
straight
Have
up
we ever
agility.
rolled an initiative?
Yeah, we have. It's agility though.
All right. Come on and give me some explodies. No. Wait. No.
24 so far.
We got a 20, but
21.
32.
Hit me. That's 30.
I just think that.
36.
And you bust. Sorry.
What did Trillian get?
20.
Oh, I got you.
Wait, what'd you get?
21. If we were betting money, I
I'm
would
gonna
have
die
won.
first.
Yay!
I'm gonna run and hide. Is what I was kidding. I got my jazz hands.
That smells like ridiculous.
It's good. I would. Not
No, it's okay.
cold.
I
It's
had,
good.
I had an enchilada.
Enchiladas. Dog food already.
So, as they draw their pistols and you see them charging up, you guys have seen these guys before, and not these specific ones, but you've seen their kind of movements in your small water battle for the watercraft. So you all basically get the jump on them.
Cut a face off.
So we're gonna get one full round before you even show up. This is what's gonna end up happening. So Griff, you are at the top of the order, and your face. It's basically like you three are standing there, and it's almost like 3 on 3, and somebody's watching the door, and then there's the guy with the staff is walking up behind the Asrai.
Okay.
He's a little bit taller.
All right.
What would you like to do?
I'm gonna charge at the one that's closest to me, and I'm gonna put my palm on his head. Then I'm gonna send as much electricity as I can through his body.
Okay, what is that? What are you going to be using? Use your attack. Know your attacks.
All right. Okay. Can I just do death?
I summoned death.
All right.
I know there's one that is called death.
I'm gonna make it all dead.
So you're doing the death. It's
so
a
many
bane,
options, but I'm just gonna do that.
if I'm not mistaken.
Can I choose Kate?
Right?
Mhm.
Are you talking about the bane?
I believe so. Hold
Can
on.
I choose millions of
It
dollars?
might be.
Do you have that?
I choose one.
I do not have that.
No, I'm saying, do you have the
Peaches
skill
for me.
to do it?
I mean, I imagine I've killed someone before, but
But no, you got to know your. That's what I'm saying. We're getting to the point where we got to know your attacks and got to know what you're capable of doing. Now
Okay.
that we're into our 11th session,
all right.
you know what I mean.
But I think
Yep.
We've only had one practice
combat.
combat.
And I think what we learned in that, what I'm remembering, because I can't remember, is like, if we can naturally do it, like we don't have to have a boon or a bane for it.
Correct.
It's just
It's a feature of your.
yes.
But I don't know what is you. What are you using to do it? You see what I'm saying?
It is of your character.
Because your telepathy is definitely
Oh,
built into it.
I guess it'd be like. Are you asking for like an attribute?
I'm asking for what capability in your character is allowing you to shoot electricity into somebody.
Oh no, I'm charging at them. Like I'm going to them and.
Oh, I think you started charging him.
Oh. No.
Oh, I'm
Charging him by the minute.
Yeah.
like this is not yeah.
Okay, so you're just doing. Okay, so you're going to use basically a force, just a ram into it.
Basically,
If you're gonna shot them, that's pretty.
That's two different things.
Oh, no.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have a 5 for that. Yeah. Yep.
Well,
All right.
my character sheet
So do it.
Slap the shit out of him.
And that's against. I'm going to do that against. Would be agility on this one.
Okay.
Very agile.
Alright, that's 6, 9. Alright, so that's a 10, 16 plus a 12. Holy, that's 2 explosions. Okay, so it's 3 6s, 4. No, 3 6s is 18 plus 4 plus 1 plus 9.
22 plus 1 is 23 plus 9 is 32.
32. I rolled the 32.
That's awesome.
Jesus. Okay, and I was just trying to jump out of the way. Tried an agility, and that did not
Like
work.
it's broken up.
But you also, because it's going to be against, I'm going to say against my guard.
Okay,
And you rolled, what was it, 32?
a 32.
32, and my guard is 11. So how much damage did you give me? 32 minus 11?
21.
21. That's how combat goes.
And then doesn't he, if he goes over by 10,
He gets an automatic bane.
so in
Oh.
your veins, then you can use.
Any bane that you have access to, because you hit me for more than 10,
Okay.
more 10 damage,
I did not.
you get to use a bane on me.
Okay.
So come up with a bane, because you charged at me. So what's going on right now is that they come up, they stand off with you, and you know their movement, and you're in the dead center. Let's say you're standing just like you are now, and these two on the edge, and you just go, screw it, and just rammed right into his chest while he's pulling out a pistol here. Takes a bludgeon right here, and then comes back and is pushed back with tons and tons of damage coming out of him.
Okay.
He can't even pull up his pistol anymore, but he did take 21 points of damage. Right, that's what I'm saying.
Can you fucking not?
So
No, it's
pick a
not
bane.
wrong.
Now you get to
It's
pick
not
a bane that you're doing to the same person.
I actually
Super death.
super death.
Wow, he's super dead.
I mean, the death is 9. Could I do death?
I don't
I'm gonna
understand
kill.
what you're asking. Group boop.
You
That's
have-
different then.
you
It's
have-
a power level
You
9
have me
for
on
death.
Facebook, right?
Okay, power level 9.
Is 32 enough for that?
You have me
Okay,
on
but you
one of
can't.
those-
Instagram.
You can't.
It's one of those social medias. You can always
It's a
have me
bait.
there.
Okay, you have to have power level 9.
I know we're in the middle of a battle, but I'm just like,
Okay.
Mm.
I think social media
Dude,
is
here,
cool.
let me pull this up,
Not my full name.
and then help you understand.
But it's right here.
Full last name's bad.
And friend. And we're good.
Okay, because your power level of agility or entropy, the highest power level you can have right now is a 5 because
Oh.
you're only a level 1. Does that make sense?
Alright. Yep.
So you'd have to have a level 9 in agility or entropy.
That's what you mean.
Okay? That's what, when it says power level, that's the level you have to be at.
Alright.
So it's definitely possible, but you'd have to level up a couple times.
I'll just immobilize him.
So you're using immobilize?
Yep, and then I'm gonna hold him up as a shield for anyone who tries to attack me.
Okay, that one you can do because power level 1, you can easily do that. So basically, you charge him, grab him, and then hold him up.
Okay.
It's beautiful.
Is he dead? That's a lot of damage.
He's hanging on with barely anything left in him.
He actually has
Picking him up
22
is
hit
next to
points.
full dead weight because
Okay.
there's nothing much left in him.
Which one was that?
The one right dead center.
The one
Was he the
on
one
the
that was
ground.
like, you're gonna need one more guy?
No, that was the old guy sitting next to the gal that are sitting behind the table.
I'm gonna chat with him more. Oldie.
All right. Next one up is Bits.
So which one?
All of them.
Which one? He's holding one up. You're watching. Well, he needs to be watching Grip. On this side, just charge at someone here, pick him up, and it's still going forward. And you have one dead set right in front of you.
Is the guy dead set in front of me also watching what's happening?
Oh yeah, everybody's seeing
We're
what's
just
going
like, oh shit. I'm like, okay. Can I shoot at him?
on. Oh, absolutely.
Revolver?
Take a
Okay.
shot because you are probably about 15 to 20 feet. He went all the way up. You charged and hit him
Don't.
all the way up.
I love that song.
Take a charge. You want to shoot at him?
Yes.
And you
trying to
agility is
remember.
that one.
I've never used my revolver. I've only
Yeah.
used my laser pistol, so I'm trying to remember.
I could probably find that.
Oh yeah.
I'm not one for combat.
I only have 5% in my other.
I'm one for
character sheet
bamboozling.
So
Bamboozled.
I gotta bamboozle.
Emphasis on the booze.
Yes.
Yes.
Be agility, right? No.
Yes.
The
Yeah.
Bane's Fort are persistent damage and slow.
Yeah. Wait, what?
It's a revolver, right?
Yes. I just do know the rolling. It's agility. Because it's like shooting a bow, but
Yeah.
I'm not shooting a bow.
Oh, okay.
22.
Good God. Okay. So you're pulling it up. He's pulling out here, and he looks up, And as he sees his buddy, he's distracted because his buddy to the left of him, gets slammed and starts getting pushed away. As he's looking over here, you pull out a revolver that's basically loaded, ready to go.
Always.
A side shot at him, and he's like, takes him in the chest right up here. He gets hurt quite badly also. You get to choose a bane.
Yeah. Shit, really?
And
You rolled it. What'd you roll?
22.
Yeah. So,
Jesus Christ.
That's
Alright, let's see.
yes,
There
and
we go, we're
I'm going to divulge because we're all not into the system. Otherwise, I usually get more creative and you don't know how many hit points and stuff like that. But I want you guys to know the math, okay?
Okay.
So you can learn the system. Again, he has an 11 guard. So when you roll,
anything over 10.
you roll a 22, he takes 11 points of damage, which is 10 or above. So now you get to do a bane.
Okay.
And you see how the banes work? It's like you hit him so hard, he's immobilized.
Yeah.
You're gonna shoot him, and he takes so much damage. You could immobilize or do something else that you have the power
The
available.
only ones that I have, I can make them slow.
So that's
Or I can demoralize them. I have intimidating presence. Shut up.
you can do whatever you want.
So he's doubting himself.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
seriously
his
doubting
life
this
choices.
battle.
You demoralize him. Is that what you
Yeah,
want to do?
I'm gonna demoralize.
I think that works very, very well.
Make him
Um,
like doubt his
extremely-
life choices and
no,
how it,
yeah.
enslaved all these people.
So what that does, and you have a power level. You can only do a power level 3. So a power level 3 is disadvantage 1. So basically, as he sees his buddy getting pummeled back here, he tries to pull up a gun at you and can't even get a shot off and gets nailed dead straight in the chest. And he feels like he was a gunslinger up until this point. Now he's pretty much...
He's just got a gun
He's
now.
a slinger.
Yeah.
He's a pussy right now. He's like, he doesn't know what to do. So at this point, everything that and the way slowed works, or demoralized works, is now every action he takes from here forward, he has disadvantage on because he's feeling like an idiot.
Second guessing everything.
Why did I sign up to do this? That's what's going on right now. That's what's going through his head. But
As I
You see a
shoot
tear.
him and it hits and like thought process is having, can I just let out a slight ha?
yeah, and
Okay, and I
you
do.
hear it almost echoed to him.
Well, I know me laughing.
I
at
know,
him. Okay, good.
but
he's fine.
his reaction to your ha is
Perfect. This is exactly how it wanted to happen.
you are next.
You're immobilizing
Okay.
people. I'm making people doubt
I'm
them.
gonna try to remember how this works. I think I use
Sad.
range attack and melee if I want to
Don't worry,
do
there's one at the
the
door.
following
Just for you.
action. So, who's left not touched yet? We've got
There's one dead right in front of you.
One.
There's one. There's
not
one
dead. Is he the old
dead
one?
shot right in front of you. No, he's still walking.
Man, you
from
really
the
want to
door.
kill that old guy.
No, I want to get the old guy to get in.
The old guy's
Get-
still at the desk.
He's just
The
like,
old guy
I've seen worse.
and the gal, they're just kind of they're just doing their paperwork.
They're like, I don't give. Okay, so we're gonna save the old. I just want to chat with them. Okay, so what I would
It's like a
like to
normal
do
challenge to them.
is I want to shoot out my cool little material fibers, and then in that electricity, I want to like wrap around them and then squeeze. Does that make sense? Go pew, because I've got all those like fibers around me, so I'm gonna go
Yes.
shoot out and then squeeze.
So you'd have to do a ranged attack to give him enough
Ranged
damage.
attack. Okay.
Does that make
Yeah,
sense?
range attack and melee, right?
Yeah, but
Okay.
it'd have to be enough to get him to damage him enough to where you can squeeze.
I mostly want to electrocute. I want to entangle-ish. I just want to like make it look cool. You know, I want to be like pew, and then I want
It's
to
all
like,
about flavor.
Yeah,
So
You gotta toss in these sound effects because she's
sha sha sha.
I have some.
it changes every time.
It's the way it's funny. A
Boom.
A zebra.
A goobadoob. That's not a... Boop, 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 boop.
Worst
Okay.
sound effects ever.
Where I
They did
track,
this.
like
Only have
a mile
4%.
or a few miles away from me, apparently, there's a farm that has a pet zebra.
Wait,
Yeah, no,
they
they.
pet zebra because they should release him back into his natural environment.
You don't know
He's
what
kind of far away from home.
Right,
You
okay.
don't know what a zebra
I
is.
just want to pet him.
Yeah, I was totally like, no, you're full of shit to my friend. She took a video. She's like, no one would believe me. I knew it. So I took a video. It was a goddamn zebra. Anyway, sorry.
Okay, so in order to do a ranged attack in melee,
You're firing it off.
I would use my energy. Is that right? Because it's going to
Yes.
be like my. Okay. So I think it's that and 2 of these. Let me just double check. A boop. A boop, boop, boop. I have sound effects city today. Sorry. Alright, here's the. Yep, 2, 6. Alright. So. That one didn't count. Okay, there we go. And there we go. And there we go. I need to do better next time. Because that was 17. No. 19. Yeah.
19. Okay, so
Wah, wah.
no, you definitely hit.
Yeah, but I didn't get to do the Bane.
Well, no. Well, I don't know what you have for Banes. So,
I just wanted to electrocute him until he thought about his action.
but are you trying to hit him with the metal to electrocute him?
Yeah, I want to like use the metal to wind around him to electrocute him.
Okay,
and then my
so-
plan was to if I did get the Bane, I was going to use the pardon me. I wanted to do the persistent damage was my plan. So I could just
keep
hold on
zapping,
him.
keep zapping. But they might be able to still do it because not on this turn, but at this point, you did get enough to get the metal around him. So it's wrapped around. Didn't do any damage for the metal to go around it, but the electricity that's going through it is at least gives him a shock, and you can see like some of the wisps of almost like ash kind of flutter up from him. So he does take a decent amount of damage. And you rolled a what?
19.
19?
Yeah.
So I'm just going to tell you, he did take 8 points of damage.
Nice.
So it's not chump change. But at that point, you get those 3 are now kind of shaken off and just been hit 3 times. So they all, except for the guy that's with you. He's pretty.
He's like
He's
1
mostly
HP
dead.
away.
Yeah, he's rough. And he's being held also. He's being up. The other one's demoralized. So I have to roll a different. They're pulling out pistols at this point. So he's restrained here and trying to pull a pistol at you. He can't get to his pistol. He's trying to be pulled up. This one's like, so he has disadvantage on his to attack. Oh, it's D10. But he does okay. He the one in front of you, 21 against your guard. What is your guard?
That was with disadvantage.
Yeah, he rolled an 18 on a d20. That's why.
Guard's 15.
Okay, so you are going to take 6 points of damage. But it's from his electrical pistol.
Yeah.
You saw some of them in the Voltaic and stuff.
Yeah.
They're basic pistols, and he's basically like scared to shoot it, so he looks away, and somehow he still catches you.
Yeah.
And you take some electrical damage on like your left arm,
Cool.
and then the other one that you're in front of, that you're holding on to, he can't do anything at this point because he's being restrained, basically. With you, this one comes at you. What is your resolve? I mean, you're a guard.
Which one?
Your guard.
Stand
It's
by.
probably more than 10.
I don't know.
It's gotta be more than
It is exactly 10.
Okay,
It is
so
more than 10.
it hits
that
you,
is exactly 10.
but here's how it's gonna work because I rolled a 10, so it hits you.
All right.
But the metallic it's almost like you see it coming. So your metallic fibers just kind of open up and just goes through you. So it made contact, but just enough to just kind of not do any damage to you. That's how that's going to go. Then the Asrai, there's a guard. The big guy comes up and takes a slash. He has a staff, and he comes up to you and tries to strike you in the back because he's trying to get you to drop the other Asrai. And he is going to do... He rolled a 10 also, 5 and a 5.
Grab the staff and I break it.
So your guard is what? What's your guard? What is your
My
guard?
guard is 16.
Okay, so that's basically what it does. It comes up, it doesn't break it, but it does come up and he's trying to hit you to where you drop it, but you're just too bulky for an Asrai to hit, and he just... And he's pissed. If you could hear... Yeah, you could hear... Almost like a scream inside of his head.
Hey, Tiny.
So after that, we are going to go ahead and you hear the guard coming up behind you. You have all this chaos, and vaguely in the background you can hear. And that's you running through the door. That's you running through the door. You can hear the. And this is what you walk into. You walk into basically. They're standing side by side with each other, so it's almost like you get a side view of the two people coming at each other. You see all this chaos is going on. Well, you know,
Too many brutal.
that was him. He had a really bad oil drink before he showed up.
Only 30 weight.
10W ass. So, what would you like to do?
So it's 3 versus 3.
It's 3 versus 3, but you see one behind him. Just you can see him as he strikes him in the back and does no damage. So there's really 4 on 3.
Okay, and he's the bigger of.
Yeah, the guy that tried to strike him in the
I'm
back.
definitely going for that guy.
Okay, what do you want to do?
I am going to.
Tarzan over. And then.
Use the chandelier.
I mean,
Was there a chandelier?
do I need to use it?
You didn't even
Is
ask.
he
I
close
asked,
enough?
but you were off camera.
It was off camera.
Is he
dude.
close enough that I can get to him in my normal movement? And
Yeah, I mean, it's that same. It's like it's a room maybe twice the size as this whole area here, so it's not really huge.
So I am going to pull out my shiv, since I don't have my dagger back yet. And
Right.
I'm going to do persistent damage bane on him.
So you're just gonna do a straight up bane.
Yeah.
Gonna attack with a
I'm
bane.
gonna use Bane's voice.
I'm going to resist damage.
Because you can attack with a bane. You always straight up bane instead of just attack. But you have to roll for it.
Yeah.
And what is it against?
So it's agility versus guard.
Okay.
And so I'm doing, what am I doing? Power level. Power level 2. Alright.
So power level 2, you have to roll
Agility, yeah.
you'd have to roll a 14. Is that correct?
Yeah, power level 2.
Okay, sorry. Let's try to decide which Bane line to do. But none of them. Oh, right.
That's a d6, right?
What's that?
What I roll?
What is the Bane's power?
Agility.
Yeah, whatever your agility is.
Yeah, it's 2.
No, I'm saying, so power level 2 with the,
Yeah.
it should be, I think that's a D6, right? D4 for 1. Power level 2 is a D6. Correct?
Yes.
I take a picture of my stupid dice.
D6.
I can't do it.
Ooh, 20
Nice. 21.
And that's against the guard of the big guy. 21. So he's a meaty guy. And you have a shiv, so you're just coming up behind him and trying to... Where are you hitting him? Where do you want to hit him? Where are you trying to stab him?
Basically on the back side, kind of where the liver is. Or where I...
So
Or
he's
I think the liver is.
and he's exposed.
If he has liver. I don't
If
know.
he has the liver, you just get a bone and a gill. He's in the mid of and frustrated with here, so he's very exposed on the underside here. But the shiv, there's a lot more like blubbery tissue than you're expecting. So as you go in there, you can tell you make contact and do some damage, but not as much as you think you would on that type of creature. So, but it does definitely hit him. So you do give him 4 points of damage. And I'm only telling you this because this is only our second battle. Is the only reason I'm actually telling you how many hit points. I won't do that all the time.
Okay. Oh, it's persistent damage, so that he has to...
You have and that's on every round though, right?
Mhm.
So every round he takes a certain amount of damage, or is that how that works?
Yes, D4.
Yeah. So every round, no matter what you do, I mean, you can hit him with something else, and he still takes that 4, unless he shakes it off, and that would be through his.
Probably be bleeding damage. Based on...
Yeah, he's basically just bleeding out.
He just came in firing, or came in shanking, right?
Wait, what about the dude that was guarding the door?
Oh, he's still guarding the door. This is like a.
Terrible guy. He's
You know what
a
I'm trying to say
terrible
is like it's like a.
It's a battle. It's not
It's
Yeah.
not a battle that we're trying to really kill anyone.
Yeah,
In a sense,
exactly.
they're just trying to see, are they worthy of taking Day with him? Is he worth what's he worth to you guys? You know, that's basically that. His name's Ronco, the guy that's sitting over there. He's like, what is he worth to you guys? Is he worth this? And there you
Tell
go.
us more about our lives. Like, I don't want to die.
We're gonna set it and forget
Is that it?
Just put him as a rotisserie, and we're fine. We have fish sticks. You getting this, camera guy?
I gotta spray on my hair.
So you come and sing, so can't just be like, found him! Found him! It's right there, I got him!
But yeah, as this is all going down, you 3-on-3 there, you don't even see it happen, and the guy behind you is now bleeding out. And you don't even know why. I mean,
Damn,
honestly.
he's really bad with that stick.
Must have him.
He must have a stick up his
Wow,
ass.
you must have used this all.
So we're gonna go all the way. We're back to the top of the order. Griff, it is you. You're holding.
So
Go ahead.
I didn't roll initiative, so
I'm just gonna put you at the bottom,
At the bottom.
of the order
Okay.
because no matter what you roll, you showed up late.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying to the party.
right.
So even if you rolled a 50, you get your shot.
What about a 51?
Alright.
That's
What
different.
about 52?
So I'm gonna drop the dangling dude with like 1 HP.
Are you just dropping it?
He dies.
Does
I
he,
mean-
does he do 1 damage?
I guess I'll kind of toss him up to the point where it's like, he's like,
Toss him up towards the chandelier.
yeah.
So is there a chandelier? Damn it!
First
You
I
haven't
looked
even
up to
asked.
see if there's a
I haven't
chandelier.
asked.
You asked me off
That's
camera and I didn't
bad.
even answer.
That's all right.
There is a chandelier.
Is there
It's
any-
Are you looking for a
glorious.
chandelier?
I just wanted a chandelier.
I want to zap the shit out of the big dude who smacked me with
There
the
is a
stick.
lighting mechanism up there. If you want to call it a chandelier, cool. But
It's a shop light.
yeah,
It's
it's
being
one of
held up by,
those
like, a
kind
little
of.
small chain.
It does have some cabling up there that's holding it in place. But you want to toss them up? Do a strength. Just do a basic strength check.
Alright. Would that be like fortitude or might?
It'd be a might.
Alright. $22.
Okay. So you're basically just trying to throw him off,
Yeah.
and since you've been doing so many things in this world that they're not as strong as where you're from, because you're from where there's a lot of rocks and stuff like that. So you just go to toss him up
Grab it.
and straight up into a lighting fixture
Decapitate.
and hits the ground like a flopping dead fish. The life has left this being and is dead on the floor in front of you.
Sushi.
It got a little bit of
that
cooked.
right up.
It's not quite like raw sushi. It got a little cooked by
It's-
the
it's
lighting
like
fixture.
We got some
What's it
seared
called?
tuna.
Yeah, ahi. Or that's
What
just.
is that, robot compassion?
You got a little bit of sear on that one. That's for sure. But that one is lifeless
Alright.
and seared.
Are the others looking like?
And you still
birds?
have. That's just that's a minor action to just toss something. So you still have an attack.
Can you pick him up and use him as a weapon?
I was thinking about picking him up and
That'd be
throwing him
fun.
at the big dude.
Yes.
And
That'll
you are.
demoralize him too.
Yeah.
He's right behind
We're
you.
just kicking while he's down, man.
You know what?
And he did just take a shiv, so he's a little slowed.
Alright. I'm gonna take the dead body and I'm gonna smack him with it.
Okay, that would be a might also. Then
Alright.
you're going to do a might attack. And it'd be against his guard.
Oh shit. Could I recover?
Are you?
Is that a D4?
That's a
That
D4.
you're rolling like 27 times?
I got a
Jesus.
4, 4, 4, and then rolling this one.
Grief.
And that's why I love this
I rolled
system.
4 again.
That's why I love this system. D4s are actually a good dice to have.
That's a 22.
22.
What was
I
your
rolled
20?
a nat 1 on the D20.
That's amazing.
Okay, and you ended up with a 22
And
with a
then-
D4. This just goes to show you, anybody that plays with Open Legend, a D4 is a great dice because
D4
it's a
is a scary
25% chance you get to re-roll it. Think about that.
That makes sense.
So, sorry, you rolled a 24. And I'll tell you right now,
Got him. Coach.
wow, you did actually hit him. So you throw this body, this almost lifeless body, up. It sears. It comes down. Now it's lifeless. You pick it back up and just whip it around. Now, where is Kragar?
He disappeared like
He
he's
went to
one
the
do.
bathroom.
He's gonna have to
After
roll.
shiving.
He's gonna have to roll
Been taking a shit.
because you just
He
swung.
took a shiv. And now he's taking a shiv.
Ouch!
I said shiv both times.
Oh, I know.
With a V.
Could you imagine? I don't want to take a shiv.
What?
Ooh, nothing?
Where you
I
at?
just rolled a
baby.
nat 1 on this 20.
And then
And
rolled the
I
D.
rolled a 24 because of how many times
Yeah.
I rolled this D4.
That's awesome.
So, you rolled a what in total?
24.
Did I do this right? 25, 4, 7. Oh, yeah, I did it right. Okay. So, he's throwing up this. It got seared, comes down to the bottom. He grabs it, spins around, and smacks him and does damage. But I do need you to do an agility check because he's spinning around with a body that just hit somebody that you just put a shiv in.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Because
Yes.
you could get hit by this spinning dead
Oh, I have
fish.
lightning reflexes as a feat.
Yeah, so is that's advantage?
Advantage.
Yeah. So whatever it is for your agility, just roll an agility check. And it's not contesting anything,
Just used
but the difficulty of where it's at.
18.
18. So you do, you see him up there, you notice him dropping the body and him coming around with it. So the shiv is still in there. So you take a little, and as he takes a smack across the body with another dead body. And you did, and I'm going to do math again, just, this is only because it's our second battle, and I know it's like a disclaimer, it's weird. But he has a guard of 17, the big guy, so he did take, 7 points of damage. took 7 points of damage on that hit with a dead body.
Smack
That's
crap
not
out of him with the body.
anything is a weapon,
Yeah.
right?
Is that the
Chandelier.
guy to smack a bitch with another bitch?
You can do that. I've seen it.
I'm just a dude trying to kill a dude with another dude.
Oh Lord! All right, next in line we have Ditz.
She's taking a shit.
She's also. Yeah,
She's shivving.
She's shivving.
You've got to be shivving.
Probably. Alright, so what happened?
Dead body attack.
Dead body attack, nice.
And it's successful.
It successfully hit him.
Is my one guy still
Your one guy is
self-doubting?
in front of you. He's definitely
But
doubting
what, Swiss
himself,
Army Man? I think I said
but
Swiss
he
Army
did
Man.
get a shot off.
I finally understood
to be like, you can
Well,
be as
first
cool as me
90%
one day. Just have to help us. I don't-
You trying to convince him to stop fighting?
yeah.
Yeah, do it.
It's like we don't have to fight. I think you're pretty cool.
Maybe he'll be part of the resistance with
All right,
us.
John Lennon.
Do you?
Yoko!
Here's where it goes though.
Okay.
Hello.
Do you mean it? I mean, does your character mean it? It just means which ones you're gonna roll. Because if you actually
Yeah.
mean that he could be as cool as you, you're just doing a persuasion. But if you're lying to him, it's a deception.
I think
Does that make sense?
I sound like a douche, but I think it'd be deception. I
Okay.
think I'm lying.
Yeah, I'm just saying,
No,
that's how we play. Is like if
Yeah,
you're
no,
making up
I
some
think
crap.
I'm definitely just lying.
Okay, so just roll a deception.
You just
Cool.
hold yourself that highly. You're like, he's cool.
It's the douche move. I'm gonna do that.
Yeah. 25.
Oh,
No, yeah.
that's pretty good.
And I even contested it with a 17. So, and I'm giving you numbers, so no, I'm not cheating. You go. You think so?
Low self-esteem.
I really think so.
So you want to
down-
use that
put
as your
down.
turn, or you want to shoot him while he's down? You would have advantage on this. If you want to shoot at him at this time, you would definitely have advantage
Just say yeah.
because there's no way he would think twice. So it's up to you. Just
What's the dick
I'm
move?
starting
You
to
gotta
get
do
you
it.
guys learning how I play the game, and then I'm not going to tell you any hints after a couple battles.
No, and then I shoot him.
No. And as he's opening his mouth, no. So shoot him. You have advantage on the shot.
I feel bad.
Oh, this is gonna be funny if I
I'm-
miss.
I'm like,
No.
and that's why you're not as cool as me.
Then you have to use deception
Oh no,
again.
I
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's how I met your mother.
25.
Oh, wow.
He did. He did.
25. And this is a different character, and I'm doing the math part for you guys. 11 is his guard. So he takes 14 points of damage.
Great.
What's the
So here's how this works.
He's dead.
Here's how this works. Very true. But it goes like
This is a
this.
great scene.
So
How do you want to kill him?
you can be as cool as we are. And he goes, you think so? And you go, no. And he goes, no. Like, and his face is no longer a face.
Splatters of sadness.
Of utter, like, fish guts just blown back.
Oh,
And
man.
even
Your little
This is
the
like
worst-
Nicole still like, no.
fish burgers.
the
Terrible.
worst part
Brown
is
fish.
Ronco's over there, the old guy, he's like this. And he goes, and you see all the stuff, and he goes,
It leaves a little outline of him around
he basically
the wall
just
behind.
wipes off gunk off of his paper and starts to just keep writing. Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah.
And then some. He didn't have that much left. Well, all right. Trillion, it is up to you to
Yes.
do whatever. You can make it more morbid
Oh, no, I'm just saying
or be cool.
everybody's been kicking butt.
Yeah.
Oh, then it would
Jump
be
to the
appropriate.
chandelier.
Is there a chandelier?
What's up there on it is honestly like it's all made up. So it's honestly it's like those.
The red splatter.
It is like it's not a
It's a red
chandelier.
sweater.
They are
Broken
like
light.
they're fixtures that illuminate, but like they're like shop lights, but the ones that have just one circle lighting. Just kind of take this torch here upside down. You know those hanging lights that light
Yeah.
down, and they just come by like one cable.
Okay.
There's about a dozen of them
Like an
in this
IKEA.
room, so they're large, but they have about a 20-foot cable.
Just an idea.
So they're definitely something that can be swung from.
Nah, I just wanted a big, like, shattery something.
Well, they're
On
made
ahead.
of something. We
But,
haven't.
nah.
You saw the one shatter with him, with his
think-
dead
I
guy.
think the chandelier moment has come to an end. Okay, so is there one last dude? Other than
There's still the big guy.
Oh, the big guy?
They just got hit with a dead body and stuck with a shiv.
And I still have my, like, fibers around the neck of the
Yep,
one
you
guy.
definitely have
So
him.
I'm just gonna try to extra electrocute him. You know,
Shoggy, you
I'm
can
just
definitely.
gonna send the joltiest, jaggedest jolt of joltum.
What you can do, since you've already got contact with him, is just roll an energy
Okay.
roll, and then I will actually gonna have to lower his guard because it's already touching him.
I need to start rolling better. That was an 11.
The dice don't agree with you.
No,
They don't like your actions.
no.
Should have stuck with the chandelier.
I just want to try. That was an 11
Dice
for
are
sure.
like,
I just want to see what I did. Yeah.
Dice
I have a
started
new
riot.
rolling technique instead of one at a
The
time.
Dice Riot. That'd be like a good band name.
The dice.
He does take
The
damage
dice
though.
roll.
You already because you already have the metal around him,
Right.
so hitting him is super easy. It's almost like you're out of spark.
Yeah. There was no chandelier, and I got
She's
sad.
upset about the chandelier. She got hit with a little bit of the fish
I had to like, open
splatter.
up for a second, and, like, while something went through me, and I was like uncomfortable.
Makes you a little gassy.
Yeah. All that weird air.
But he does it. It's wrapped around him, and he does feel the. So it's hard for him to pull up the gun to shoot, but he's there. He's not quite paralyzed like the last guy. But
So,
and that is your. And then he is the only one
I
left
got 7.
in front. So he's pulling up the gun, and he sees what's going on with the big guy. With you guys that are shivving and hitting with. So the one that she's fighting, he gets a little bit of shock, but he's over there and takes a shot at you.
I have energy resistance of electricity.
Just telling you. I'm telling you what he's gonna do.
Alright.
An energy. It's a 26.
Alright.
You
That
stored a
hits.
T-Rex in here or something?
Is it a garage opener?
Velociraptor?
Yes,
I think
it's
it's
a
a
garage
garage
door.
opener, but straight up just sounds like a dinosaur.
Pterodactyl.
It's
A pterodactyl.
like, we're just talking about pterodactyls?
Yeah.
26.
Okay. Yeah.
Why
It
not
hits.
talk
Should be
about
against
pterodactyls?
your. I think that one you.
I'm always talking about dinosaurs.
Can you roll against it?
Oh yeah, we have
Oh,
pterodactyls.
I could probably roll against it, huh?
Well, I don't know what your energy resistance
It's
does.
funnier.
I could do nullify.
What does energy resistance do?
In 1 second.
Is that a feat?
Yeah, it's a feat.
Let's find out.
Welcome home.
Is it
Found it.
defense scores are
Oh,
increased
okay.
by 3, 6, or 9,
And it is against electricity.
or immunity?
Yep.
And what tier are you?
I'm a tier 1.
Tier 1. So your defense, I'd say your defense score on the electrical part would probably be more like a toughness than a guard.
Okay.
So, you know, the ability to resist would be more like a,
Yeah.
I don't know. Let's go guard. I apologize.
Alright.
Let's go guard, and whatever your guard is, add 3.
Alright, that's a 19.
Okay. And I rolled. Oh, then we're fine. I didn't touch it then, did I?
Would you roll?
One was an 18, right? Yeah.
Might have been. Was it an 18? I think it was.
11, 17.
Oh,
Either way.
either way.
Either way, no. So your resistance to it's because of your physical makeup. He shoots it is an electrical bolt that comes out of his
They're
pistol,
walking very easy.
and it's basically it's just the metallic. Yeah, it just kind of dissipates over and goes into the ground.
Oh,
It's kind of like having it's like a Red Bull.
Red Bull.
You just had a Red Bull. You're like, woo, yes, I have wings. And then the big guy that's in front that just got hit in the side with a dead body, right? Because he got whipped around. He's gonna just basically, he's got his staff up in the air, got hit. He's just gonna try and take an elbow across to hit you because he just got hit. You know, he's got the staff up here, so it's more of a swipe around because you're so close to him now.
Okay.
So he's just gonna do a might.
At times like these, how would I use nullify?
What is nullify?
It's a bane, and it's
Okay.
Hold on. Ooh, didn't do that.
Just look.
I'm looking. All right.
I want to make this go.
Oh, never mind. It cancels a boon, and I don't think elbowing me is a boon.
No. I want to do this. Let's go.
I just got smacked.
Well, he's gonna try to, but that doesn't mean he hits you. I just want to do it that way. 21.
For guard?
Would be against your guard, yes.
All right, so I have a 16.
Okay,
That's a 5.
so basically, as he swings up and hits with the staff, he gets shivved underneath it here and gets hit underneath the dead body. He swings his staff around and puts it back and then swings at you, and that's where that sound is going to come from.
All right.
So he does actually hit you, and he rolls it. Yeah. So what was your guard?
16.
Okay, so you're going to take what?
5 damage?
Yeah, 5 points of damage. And it is at the top of the order. He just smacked you across the face with his elbow, and now it's your turn. Oh, you're at the bottom, huh? Yeah. Then you get to go. You're shivved. But at the beginning of your turn, that guy's going to take 4 points because he's bleeding out. Right. I'll just do it at 4. It's a D4, but I'm just going to do it at 4. Because you specified in wherever you found a liver.
Damn it, it's supposed to be long range. Smacking people with dead bodies is okay.
I don't know.
Alright, I'm going to
Loading next attack.
I'm going to do immobile Bane on him.
Oh, okay. What's my defense?
Let's see. Guard.
Guard, okay. And the equivalent in your head, I mean, not, but he doesn't say it, it's more about, but you guys can translate it. It's the closest you can hear to, come at me, bro. What are you rolling?
Alright. So I'm using my movement. 8. 28. About 88. Natural 20. Do I roll a 20 again?
You gotta roll it again, yeah.
Nice.
You get to keep the 20 and roll
Oh,
4.
plus I have Vicious Strike feat, which means I get to roll advantage for every subsequent roll.
Really?
What?
11,
Nat
no.
20
20.
again?
So you're at 40.
40.
I'm gonna die a
And
lot.
some subsequent. Okay.
It was a 9.
49.
9.
You're like, okay, it's
That was
only
a
a
50.
40. 50.
Miss.
So what are you actually doing?
Alright. So,
Remember,
target cannot move from his current space.
but you're making him not
Moving
move.
with a might roll. I didn't use my. Oh wait.
Yeah, but how are you gonna make him not move?
Okay. So I want to do like the kind of what we did to that other guy on the boat. Do like a bunch of like pressure point strikes to more or less kind of cripple him so he can't move.
Okay,
Yeah.
so Shiv inside, you've ducked under, he's bleeding out. You leave the Shiv in so he can bleed. It's almost like you take a little twist to it to make it bleed. Pull back and do your moves. All the pressure points that you can figure out, you know you took on the last guy and you figured it out. This one, even better. He becomes completely immobilized and almost all of his insides start coming out of that, of where he's bleeding out. And he is limp. He's not paralyzed. He can't be paralyzed. He drops down to his fishy little knees and is hanging on for dear life, hunched over at this point. Because those pressure points were all to tense him up, and as he tensed up, it made him bleed out even faster.
So he prolapsed.
He could be alright.
Is he gonna be okay?
It's just a flesh wound.
Like Groundhog's Day. He could be alright. Maybe not now.
Rub some dirt on it.
So now we'll go to the top of the order. In front of you, as you swung around, hit, and he just dropped. As you turn around, you still got a dead fish in your hand, looking at another fish that just dropped to his knees with next to no life in him.
Alright. I'm gonna drop the dead body that I just had and take his staff, and I'm gonna go whack the one that gave me a Red Bull.
That makes sense. So he's down there. He can't hold on to it. So take the staff, you run over, yoink, and just smack him. Is that what you want to do?
Yep,
Across the face gill?
absolutely.
Okay, hit him.
Across his pie hole.
Oh wait, actually, can I smack the gun out of his hand?
You do whatever you want. What do you try? I mean, if you're trying to kill him, hit him in the face. Or you're trying to get the gun.
Disarm.
Yeah, I'm gonna disarm him
Okay,
with giant staff.
with the other
Okay.
staff.
Pull his
So
arms off to disarm him. Sorry.
is that unarm him? You've been unarmed.
With disarm.
I want that one.
Oh my god.
You've been unarmed with disarm.
You just shot an unarmed man.
That was hilarious.
Alright, I'm just gonna use might to smack.
Mm-hmm.
Just gonna do a smack.
Yeah, it's just the staff that he has.
Was there like any electricity in
It was going through it, so if it does, it's kind of like, look at it this way: if you have a staff that hits somebody, the concept behind what I had in my head was that when you hit somebody with it, and if you got to do a bane, the bane would be like immobilized because it would shock someone.
Okay.
That was the thought of the weapon that I put in there. That's all.
Sounds good. Yeah. Oh wow. It's happening again. Oh my goodness.
Oh, Lordy.
Wow, those fours, man.
Okay, it's over. It's a 12 plus 6 plus a 1.
Is it the D4 again?
It's the D4 again.
Jeez. I'm a firm believer in the D4 tonight. Just saying.
That's
Put the one on your.
That's a 19
With the D4.
with the
That's
D4, and I
amazing.
rolled a 6 on the D4.
Oh, good dog. Okay. That's him here. Well, that definitely worked. Because he has a guard of 11. And what'd you roll? 18? 19?
19.
19? So he takes 8 points. So he's got the shock that gave you a Red Bull. He's holding out at you again. As you're coming at him, he's and holds it like this. Grabs both hands like this, and you take the staff and spin it and take off both of his arms.
Disarm him. Yay.
So to one side, you see a gun go whoosh and hit a couple chandeliers on the way over to the other.
Chandeliers down and he's
Tink,
disarmed.
tink, tink. It hits 3 chandeliers as it goes over and breaks the glass. So this moment is like sparkling electrical glass coming down from the ceiling
It's so
It's like,
as 2 little fish arms
it's like the end of
fly
Lion.
slowly through like this lit up glowing rain.
Dark ones are yours.
I would like everyone to know I have a might of 1. And that's all happened.
It's the D4, man.
D4.
Oh.
And you do see a little glimmer from Ronco because this is all going in front. He's in the background of all this lighting going on.
If this isn't impressed,
He's just
I
like,
would be okay.
And none of us have been hit yet.
I got hit.
Oh, you got it.
I nearly
Yeah.
got hit.
a couple of you got
Sorry.
hit, but nothing really too big a
I
damage.
took
Hers was
5 points of
decent.
damage.
Yeah,
I forgot. Sorry.
yeah, you've been underneath the big guy, bleeding him out. So that's there. Ditz, it is on. You are up.
Is there anyone else alive?
Yes, there's still
Ronco.
the hunched over guy that he took a staff from, and the guy that he just unarmed with disarm.
I think that
He's still
unarmed guy
alive.
is fine.
I'm just saying they're
Can't
both
really do much.
they're
to
both-
Anybody who's not.
they're
bonus.
both air quote alive.
Quick attack Bronco. This is their only chance.
Can I shoot at the guy who no longer has staff?
The
Oh, yeah.
bureaucrat.
Yeah, I'll shoot at him.
The guy who's not moving.
Yeah.
Should
It's the guy with the arms.
He's a stationary target. It should be easy.
Yeah.
It's stationary target because it's
I
not
think-
stationary in front of
With
us.
advantage, you're gonna have advantage on somebody that's basically it's like a prone. He's like down on the ground.
Because I rolled a 7. Don't think, yeah.
With advantage, you rolled a 7.
What advantage? What? Shit.
What's your additional dice? You have a D20 and a what?
It's 2 d8s, right?
Yeah, so roll 2d8s, take the higher one.
I forgot. Okay. 8.
Well, that's better.
Yeah.
But
Just shoot his foot.
He just hit his goo.
Yeah.
well, where are you still?
Where am I still?
Yeah,
Uh,
roll an agility because you're still down where she's shooting. She's shooting at the guy that you're bleeding out. Remember the one that you just
Oh.
went. Foop, 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 foop. She's shooting at him and missing.
the guy
Not.
who's like on the ground.
Yeah, he's on the ground in front of you. So just do a
I'm
basically
probably
agility.
too much into.
All you're gonna have to do
I just
though
did
is
that
she
one
rolled
guy
an. I'm
over
just gonna put it this
and
way.
over.
She rolled an 8. All you have to do is beat an 8 to not take damage. I'm getting a little creative
You
with
roll a
my
7.
with my numbers.
Okay.
I mean,
Oh, I was like, you're gonna roll a 7. Then you dodge. Yes, I was like, dang it. Takes 1 point. Okay, so you do see it was like you're under and you put him to the ground, and you look up in time to see like a bullet. You can hear it. came closer to you than the person that was in front of you.
Again.
Excuse me. Trillion.
There's a man with no arms.
There's a man with no arms and one hunched over, unarmed.
The
and cannot
bureaucrat
move.
guy hunched over.
No, he's just a big guy. He's one of the guys that you saw at the front door when you walked in.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the guards out in the front. Now there's only one guard left, but he's just guarding the door. He's not in the fight at all.
Okay. What do you guys need?
Shoot Bronco.
I'll shoot Bronco.
Well, it doesn't sound like we really have any targets worth our time.
I know. I
So what do
kind
you
of
wanna
want to
do?
talk to Bureaucrat really quickly.
You want to talk to Ronco?
Bronco. I keep saying Bronco in my head, but yes, I would like to talk to Bronco.
And he's up there.
What is the purpose of this?
There's lights coming down and
Are we done?
fish arms going by.
Have we displayed enough for you? Are you not entertained?
It's hard to entertain me.
Clearly.
But, looks
Can
good.
Play a few more of your friends if you wanted us to. But
Are you up for that? Deo can be freed. But he's gonna have to leave.
I think he'll be okay with that.
Alright.
Easy.
You don't
Dale,
have much care for your.
We're not killing you today. Don't come back.
There's an underground society. I'm gonna tell
So,
telepath.
is the big dude on the ground in front of me still alive?
Yeah, barely. It's kind of like, I mean, blood coming out of every orifice
Okay,
that he has.
I'm gonna heal him.
I don't know, let's just do
I'm gonna use my boon.
Okay.
Now it's a lollipop. Stick
Oh, what do I have to do?
lollipop.
Heal.
Is anybody interested in the fact that there's an underground society of these dudes that doesn't think that they should be enslaving all the other dudes? I'm saying telepathically.
Dicks, man. I say that out loud.
Yeah.
Bunch of dicks, man.
That's
That
fair.
is totally out of context.
Not really.
They're still in here.
Ooh, 4.
That's the wrong
Magical
shape.
D4.
These are actually not mine. So you can't
I'm gonna
really
be really happy if this works. Nope.
That's not so good. Is that a 7?
take
That is a 7. 9.
Is that a 9 HP?
No, that's what I rolled.
Oh, okay. But to do the boon, you needed at least like a 12, I think, right?
Oh, level 1.
Yeah, which you have to roll a 12. So,
Well, crap.
but what were you doing to actually heal him? I mean, do you have magical? Do you have, you know what I'm saying? Are you trying to just sew up a wound?
Yeah, I was just trying to stop the bleeding and keeping his insides inside.
Shove his organs back inside that hole.
Yeah.
Back in.
It's like that's where that comes.
And it would only have done a D4
Maybe.
of healing.
But it would have been,
But it would-
yeah. But
I've
either,
never played
I
it
just
before.
want to know what
I'm
you're
gonna
trying to
try.
Yeah,
do.
I just
Like, so he would at least understand what you're trying to do.
I want to try and help him and keep him from dying, essentially.
And you can hear it. He's gonna barely talk, but it's a lot of stuff coming out. It means a lot.
Well, you said come on. I didn't want to do this, but
I did
Shuffle's
it.
over there
And
behind the
he,
desk.
while you're covering up the wound, one of his wounds here, he holds it there. It means everything. And he actually dies at that point. You're trying to heal him, and he actually fades out. But inside of your hand, you find a very dark, gross, bloody coin.
Coin?
A coin.
I want that coin. Yoink.
It's not, and it's a coin, which you know that they don't. You've been here long enough to know that they don't use coins for transactions. He,
Learn about it.
well, when he was doing it, he was giving it. He was putting it in your hand as he was trying to. You were trying to heal him.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna just pocket it. Because I don't know if,
Yeah, he's gone.
yeah. I don't
He was
know if
underground.
the others.
Yeah, he wasn't doing it to be seen. That's for sure.
Okay.
And then you have armless guy over there. Who else wants to do anything at this point? Somebody want to talk to Ronco, right? Screw Ronco.
Screw him.
So Ronco's over there. He's
I
like,
fired in his general direction.
I fought.
Where?
General
We
So we have
leaving?
my-
Are we
my
leaving through the
concept.
room? We're leaving.
And the guard at the front door, as Deo, basically all of his shackles, it's like Ronco pulls up, puts down the paperwork and stuff like this, and then takes up his data pad, puts in a code, and all of his shackles that are on Deo just kind of.
You steal his gun and then go free all of the people.
And all the shackles come off of Deo.
Wait. Okay.
We can steal his gun right now and then go free everybody.
You have that gum.
Well, we got 2 free arms.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
can do weird stuff with gum.
Deo, you've got 2 day sex to get off this island.
We get 10.
And the guard that's in front of the door, he just steps to the side.
What is Armless doing?
Depends if you guys are going up there.
What is Armless doing?
He's just armless,
He's like, oh.
what? Yeah, it's really. He's bleeding out. He's bleeding out. He's not going to live much longer.
How does it feel to be disarmed, dummy?
Could I help him?
Don't want
You can do whatever you want.
Alright, I'll try.
control of the
Try to help him a little bit
Do
more.
it again. Do it again. Yeah.
Your arms got lost.
The arms are off.
Stop misplacing your damn arms, man.
Gotta roll
Is it a
12.
hole?
If it's a 4, keep it. If it's not, re-roll it.
Yep.
Freaking great. 10.
Yeah, you needed a 12.
That's
Uh,
really lucky in my hand.
He's still bleeding out.
What
So
did
you
wanna
went
do?
over to help him, and you are you gonna accidentally just kill him? Be like, oh no,
Yeah,
God!
No,
he's
you just can't
Actually.
slow it. He doesn't even slow the death.
Squished it to her.
Honestly, I'm just getting more fish guts all over my hands.
You are full of
Almost
ethereal, basically like,
like a cannery.
yeah, non-corporeal fish guts. Because they are spirit creatures too. So they're not pure fish, you know, they're
What does it feel like? Is it just like air? Or is
kind
it
of,
like-
well, it's
Yeah.
kind of like, it's
Is it cold?
It's like a dense. It's a little bit cold, but it's kind of dense, and the goo kind of goes on you. But it's like it's not wet. You could just kind of feel the texture on you.
Like homemade slime, kind of.
Yeah, and it comes off pretty easy because it's non corporeal. So it's not like being in fish guts. It's starting to stink though, which is yeah. The insides are not always as airy. So
Like that stuff.
he's dying out. He's not going to last more than probably the next 30 seconds with his arms being gushing out. The doors are wide open. Deu, the shackles came up and he's out. The traditional
Welcome.
line to the door. You hear him. He's out. Yeah, he's leaving. His life is.
I'm gonna turn towards Bronco and whatever the gal's name is and say, "Are you gonna be able to help him? Because this was all kind of your show."
We've got plenty more of those.
Yeah, I don't. Who cares? He probably just cares about himself.
He'll be fine.
Well, let's kill him. Bronco.
Bronco.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like him. I was gonna talk to him and then I thought.
This is all out loud, by the way.
It's gonna cause a lot of problems.
Yeah, but let's
Kill
kill
him
him
now.
murdery.
I mean, we're gonna leave soon anyways.
But
But we have to him
his
back.
health.
We can kill him like.
Yeah, because we've also still got to kill what's his face when we come back.
There's a lot of people we have to murder.
And we have to rescue and liberate so many as well.
Murder
And
and
nobody
rescue,
seems
murder
to
and
be
rescue.
interested in that side plot.
Hearts and minds. Wicked friends. All right.
So as your murder list gets longer,
And rescue list.
Self-defense list.
It's happening.
your rescue
like
list.
all of a sudden.
Dayu's out the door. You are recalling so many things that have just happened in the last. I mean, this whole thing probably lasts maybe 5 minutes. A lot of carnage and a lot of non-caring by the council of even their own people is what you're seeing. But yes, your murder list is becoming longer, and you can feel the frustration of this society's. Especially you with the studying that you did, is becoming more apparent that it's corrupt.
Can I
for
sense
thousands of years.
anyone in the room? Like, can I tell if any of them feel like, ugh, this is really icky what we're doing? Or are they all kind of on the same board? No,
How would you do that? How would you do that?
Maybe just using,
This is very icky what you're doing.
How I would do that
Why are you touching my phone?
would be maybe perception, or maybe a little bit of a telepathy, maybe. But that's usually talking at. So yeah, like just using my knowledge or learning and perceiving their faces, and maybe being like, that one seems like she's like, you know.
But you have
cares?
like energy boons and stuff
I
like that.
do.
I was like, what do you have that you
I
feel?
don't know if I never.
You know what I mean? Because I think I want
I
to do
have
this.
bolster, so I can bolster my perception. Or
What's your highest
body
attribute?
language.
energy.
Okay. And you have an energy of 5, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
And then I have, for some reason I thought alteration would be cool. Oh, that's because I wanted to turn into a lobster, and I have sometimes. So, that's important.
And you did those things.
Done and done.
Wow.
Bucket list.
Went
Okay.
from bucket list to murder list.
I just want to see if I can, given the fact that I did that research and like my character knows that there are some people, you know, in this community that don't feel the same way. I just want to see if I can tell if anybody in this room, or, you know what I mean?
I do know, and I'm trying to. What I want to do is actually find something that would make sense in what you're doing. Do you have a? Oh, you don't have a prescience, do you?
Oh, what is
Questions?
it? No. But I do have,
My dredge would be.
I
to
do have
actually use
pure-hearted, whatever that does. And
Is that a boot?
No,
it's a
it's
perk.
it's a
No,
perk.
it does.
Hey, some of those perks are pretty
I would think
sweet.
with perception you'd be able to just read body language if you're kind of just good at
Yeah, and
picking that up.
but body language is like this carnage right now, so that would be kind of body language is out the window.
Well, not then. All right. Well, that one kind of
Okay,
looks like
so
a
with
double
pure-hearted-
and
With
an eye.
pure-hearted, any goodly-natured creature you encounter is friendly toward you by default rather than neutral. So if I can sense somebody who's more goodly-natured,
I say
Then
we
they'd
do
be
because
being
I just wanted to
friendly.
find something. Maybe you'd have something that
I don't know.
we'd roll into it, but because I know where I want to go with it was the. Let's do. You could do it just to a perception, and if you'd like to do a perception check.
okay.
Let's do.
Because there are others.
And I could bolster my perception. Sorry.
There's others in that area, in that room. Right,
Yeah.
That are watching.
Yeah,
Right. How are they?
I'm just gonna let it go. You don't even have to roll it because the guard at the front door you can tell has a decent nature, and is just doing what he's told. Even the lifeless bodies, as they've been kind of falling over you, are really just doing it because of their belief system. They're an non-corporeal being as it is, so they don't have worries of dying, even though you know through your studies that they really are dying, but they don't believe that because they're just serving a purpose. So even Rocco's not a evil creature. It's just he's in charge, and this is what we've been doing for thousands of years, and their belief system is that they will just come back again. So
But
it's
there
not
aren't
that
any
big a deal.
dissidents or any people who are ill at ease around here. That, you know what I mean? Like, who are doing what they're told. Maybe they're just like, I don't know. Just looking for some allies for a revolution that we're going to definitely start.
The only one that's really
Tanya Shmanya.
is still standing and is
5 people.
that one guard left at the front door.
right.
Everybody else has been butchered.
Yeah, we murdered him. I
Yeah.
should have done this before we killed him.
Right, there was some moments, but yeah, they've been sliced out. One, we don't know. There might have been something, a glimpse in the coin. We don't know what that is yet.
I think that coin is part of their secret, but I don't know about the
Little
coin.
did we know it
We
was the
didn't see it.
artifact.
But build your murder list. We are going to go ahead and end on that tonight on murder lists.
As
And-
we leave the place, can I just tell them that they need an air freshener?
Oh yes,
But
who are you
guys
telling?
You guys need an air freshener. Probably the lady. Or just
Tell
say,
Arlen.
I'm just
Just
saying
saying.
it out loud. I'm like, you guys need an air freshener.
He's almost dead.
And Rocco actually has a little bit of a smirk. And the gal, because we don't know her name yet, because we haven't talked to her, but she goes, "We know, dear.
Boogeries.
We know. Happens a lot." Rocco, can you order another one? Yeah, it's really back to the same banter as when you guys first met him. So it's business as usual. So we'll end there tonight. Thank you guys for coming back. And then,
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming back.
yeah, that's true. And I have to be honest. If there was a capability of us not, we probably wouldn't have. I have to be honest.
Yeah.
So we're trying to let the
We'd be doing this through
the
Discord.
amazing culture that we came across. We're trying to make sure that it's not just a honeymoon before we ever think about actually doing something like that. Does that make sense? We wanted the honeymoon phase to go away.
Yeah.
We talked about it today. It was like, maybe it's just because we don't go out very much,
Right, yeah.
So
It's
let's
all shiny and
relax.
Yeah.
But
Oh, that's not good.
it does. It looks like your handwriting. I mean, come on.
I mean, we're related.
it looks
Don't you love
just
the little-
like it.
She's a little artist.
It's her sick note that she wrote
Oh no.
the other day. I'm sick from my mom.
Do you guys watch Bob's Burgers?
What's that?
Do you guys watch Bob's
Sometimes.
Burgers?
Sometimes.
Louis
Because I like the
is
voice
like-
actor. Because he
Oh,
does.
H. John
Yeah.
Venture. Love him.
So, all right, we're gonna go and thank you all for coming. We will be back next Thursday. Yes. And until then, find your time to tabletop. That's why it's so catchy.
There's always time to.
There's always time to tabletop. Make time to tabletop. All right, everyone. Thank you. Good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Build your murder list.